Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Totally Oblivious Podcast. I'm your host, Caleb, the now, I guess, computer guy until we start having a normal recording time and schedule. I'm here with Alex, co-host, who is hearing ghosts, apparently.
Is it picking up on Discord? I think my brother's yelling that he hasn't got his McDonald's.
What?
Because my mom was like this morning, I want food. And he's like, I texted you 2 hours ago to go do that same idea. And now you want food. It's kind of a joke. That's what. But hi, hello everybody. Meta's the coffee guy, Perez.
Brother? Is that you?
No, I'm just Super Boo. I'm Super Boo Perez absorbed.
Who'd you absorb, Colby or Cliff?
That's a good question. If I was Boo, who would I absorb? Maybe I'd actually low-key go with Cliff. I feel like Cliff low-key has some like secret power tactics behind him, bro.
Secret techniques.
I think he does, like straight up.
Yeah. That's the realest pick.
I think so. Anyway, what are we doing? I know what we're doing today.
Yeah,
today's gonna be interesting.
So I have bad news.
Okay. Okay. Well, actually, no. This is good news for me then.
So I did not fully get all the research I wanted done, but I think I got the research that I needed to get done. So I think we now have the full story in our brains, right?
In your brain.
In my brain. You didn't do any research?
Well, no. I had to record a fucking 40-minute long Batman video and had to take care of dogs. If I sound congested still right now, it's because my nose hasn't recovered over the past 12 hours from yesterday. So as this podcast probably continues on, where you'll hear my nasal cavities
start opening.
Yeah, so I've been all fucked up this week, but
really?
I kind of knew. I did watch some of the videos like offhandedly, but like it's one of those things where you play it on your second monitor and you're just like,
I'm busy.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, so it's the Mr. Beast situation. We had to talk about it because
like 3 weeks late.
Because since the beginning of the podcast, I have been saying I've been saying I don't trust this guy. I've been not trust. I said, he doesn't seem like a very trustworthy person. And I remember your brother was like, "What is wrong with Mr. Beast? There's nothing wrong with him."
Play the clip.
Caleb and Post, if you can find that within the next 5 minutes, play it. But if not,
I think Andrew's only on 2 episodes.
He's on like the first 15.
Does he actually say it though? I don't think he's on the ones where like he's the one on screen that you say it, where that clip is.
I think.
Is it not on the I'm sort of the fifth grader one? I thought it was.
No, I think it's on the controversial takes one.
Then we'll see it in post.
I think maybe.
And this is what I like about Markiplier is he's still a cool guy.
He's all homegrown. He's not Mr. Beast with a
Mr. Beast.
Are we gonna talk about
that?
This
crew
the
of
episode?
150 people.
Okay, hold up, Andrew.
PewDiePie has 100 million subscribers. He's not fucking T-Series.
No, I don't think
he's still in the bedroom, fucking chopping it up, playing fucking Minecraft and whatever the fuck he plays.
The subreddit. Okay,
I think this. Stop you here though.
I think
this is where we're gonna end. Not gonna end, but this is the ending segment where Caleb's gonna talk about his conspiracy theory on Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast. I don't trust Mr. Beast worth beans. That there's something when I have this thing where I can look at people and I can kind of tell when they're either not trustworthy or there's just something off about them. I get that vibe hardcore with Mr. Beast. I look at that guy, the way he smiles, he has like a crooked smile. You cannot trust that. There's just something. It's like insane. I sent this to Jen the other day because she asked me what I had against Mr. Beast. It's like I'm insane. Like people think I'm insane for not trusting him, but there's just something about Mr. Beast that is not trustworthy. Where does he get all this money
I
from?
always thought his content was bad.
How is he able to give away so much money on how many episodes does he upload a day?
He only actually uploads monthly. Gotten madly successful with it.
But it's like he spends a lot of money on things.
But look at the way he operates though. It's he can produce a video, get fucking Cash App to fucking sponsor it, and Cash App knows it's like, well, I want to drive more online people to fucking use my fucking app. So I'm gonna put Mr. Beast all the money he's gonna put down to give these money away, and so that these people, when they receive the money, they don't get fucked by taxes. Because some people can't accept that Tesla because they get fucked. Mm-hmm. Some people can't accept his $50,000, his $150,000 because you get fucked by taxes. That was the number one thing. That's why he was only giving shit to like friends in the beginning. And right now he's giving stuff more to like friends. Like David Dobrik does that too. Because you get fucked with taxes and you don't want to ruin somebody's life. It's like, I gave you a blessing with a Tesla, but the government fucking hates that.
But it's just something off.
Hate the government.
There's something off about him. Like, I don't know.
The same goes for like Family fucking Feud. It's like you win money there, you're gonna get fucked by taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like to counterpoint Caleb's argument, he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was explaining his backstory. The kid was like a nerd, like a straight.
He was one of us.
Dude, they're all nerds.
No, but like he was like
Mr. Beast is one of us. What are you talking about?
He was antisocial. Like he's
a dope ass baseball player too.
Okay,
you baseball?
He
was great.
You have the most humblest beginnings, and you can still be a terrible person.
That is true, but like he was like a mega nerd. Like he was like
some of those people still become terrible people.
That is true.
You don't have to be like
this is all on a whim. Like he's done nothing wrong yet. So
that's exactly why it looks like I'm insane for thinking this, because he on the surface has done nothing wrong, but there's something I can feel. There's something not right about this guy.
He's gonna trip a kid and Caleb's gonna go evil.
He's gonna have a Japanese forest moment, and
I don't think
oh no.
But no, apparently he has a food bank and shit. Like
but
he's like really.
He's a dope guy.
Like he started a whole hamburger chain in like a week. Like.
No, he got help from other.
I feel as though there's some sort of like money laundering scheme there. Or something.
You think he's a fucking? You think there's a RICO case being made on him or what?
There's something. There's something with this guy.
But yeah, so I've been saying this for a while, and then I start hearing controversy start popping up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let my confirmation bias take the best of me. I will wait until more information comes out, and I will do my due diligence to try and make sure that we know the full story before we say anything. And now I think we have enough evidence that we can start covering it. So I kind of want to start from the beginning, the beginning of where this all started to snowball.
The Big Bang.
The Big Bang being the Ava Chris Tyson situation. How much do you know about that one?
From the beginning, or like the Twitter thing?
Like basically the beginning, like when it first came out.
So he was on Mr. Beast's team at the time, and then just kind of was on videos, and then at one point, I moved my desk. My bad. I switched around my monitors, but that's beside the point. Then he transitioned into a she, and then a lot of people were pressed about it, but I think it was just because it's like a whole like alt-right thing where it's just like, oh no, a trans person. And it got pressed about it, when in reality it was fine. And then Mr. Beast was all like, dude, who gives a flying fuck? And I'm like, unironically based.
That's real.
And then it was until it was all like, wait a minute, why are you texting children? Or kind of making extremely like, at first you could say it's like internet humor where it's like, I'm gonna fuck you. And it's just like, wait a minute.
but it
Is
wasn't
that the
quite
joke?
that. Yeah, it was.
No.
Yeah, that's basically the situation. Is he was
After that
talking
point,
to
I don't know what the fuck
he's talking to
happened.
those kids, and it was not good. It was bad. Plus, he was buying like CP art from this
Oh, now.
one guy, this
Oh,
Shadman guy.
oh no, Shadman Lord. I shockingly know too much about that, bro.
Yeah, I don't
Force
know
down my throat.
much. I don't know
Co-
much about the Shadman situation, but I just know it's connected to this.
The reason why that's bad for anybody who doesn't know, because internet trenches, a guy who draws way too much fucking like raunchy ass shit to the point where it's basically just fetishization,
Mhm.
and the guy has been charged for it in Europe because he lives in Europe, I think. And yeah, it's really bad. Like he draws like really bad shit. Like you know the whole joke, like you can find anything on the internet.
Mhm.
He basically personifies that, so just bad. Like he also drawed Keemstar's. As much as I dislike Keemstar, that guy drew Keemstar's kid doing things, and it's just like,
Why would
what?
you do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Ew, that's gross.
Yeah,
That's
that's weird.
that's bad. That's horrible. You should
Yeah. Even though
be
I think if I remember
crucified.
correctly, the pic crucified, the
I mean,
picture that
like
he owned, I can't remember if it was wild or not. But
I
like
think so.
everybody kind of knows who you're supporting, so it's like, even if
Yeah.
it was or wasn't, it's just like suspicious.
It's very
Anyway.
yeah. It's not a good look to own any of his art, and I think specifically that the art that he had as well was also bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah,
His art wasn't even good. I'm gonna be honest.
like honestly,
Big the art critique I am.
Shadman, terrible human being, probably deserves the worst possible punishment
Yes.
because, yeah, but yeah, that basically that's where it started going off is when that connection was made,
Mm-hmm.
and things were just not looking good from there
Whiskey was
for
cooked.
Ava, Chris Tyson. And then I don't know if this came before or after things started to get really bad, because at this point it's basically just on her that
Uh-huh.
everything was just, oh, Ava was a bad person and did
Mhm.
bad things. And at some point their sister came out and said, yeah, they're just a sociopath who's just starving for attention. They would steal my clothes and pleasure themselves to it and like wear her clothes around. And like apparently their sister's also saying that it's like, yeah, I don't think they actually transitioned. They just wanted the attention.
Ew.
Yeah. So
That's fucking. I feel so bad for the actual trans people that deal with that.
you
'Cause,
have
like,
to deal with the
sometimes
weird sickos.
I don't. Bro, I won't lie. There got to be like a classical history study in like the next 30 years to really analyze like the LGBTQ, like the modern or at least the internet version of it.
Mhm.
Because I know that's different from like the 70s and 60s, but like who actually was actually supporting it and who was just kind of like writing it like if it was a trend. Because I low-key think some parts of it is just like internet culture trend where it's just
Mhm.
like, are you actually or are you just fucking being weird?
Or you just want to be quirky. And according to their sister, that is exactly what the case is.
I don't think it's quirky. I think it's insane.
Well, just the quirk of being actual sicko.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. That's 100% terrible.
Yeah, so
Feel bad.
at this point, it's only on Ava Tyson until we start getting some information that says that in some of these Discord chats where they were talking inappropriately to these minors, Dr.
Yeah.
Disrespect style, but actually worse. Mr.
I think
Beast,
it was.
Mr. Beast
Uh-huh.
himself, Jimmy, also participated in those group chats and participated in said conversations.
Wait, hold on. I completely blanked. What?
Yeah, so apparently he was in those Discord chats where they were inappropriately talking to minors, and he also participated in the conversation.
Participated how?
Like, talking about how big Ava's
wild.
schlong was.
Not the clitoris?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Like, it's stuff like that. Like, again, to somehow play the devil's advocate to this, it could just be the dark internet humor that he's just being edgy. But there's a point where it's like, that's weird. That's a weird thing, especially in a chat of fans of yours that are minors to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at some point, especially him being the head of the company, there has to be some sort of like professionalism when it comes to
Don't have a
speaking
Discord.
to people
there you
like
go.
that.
Yeah, no, it's weird. That's just some weird. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know how you like. I don't get it because I'm at 100K right now, and I hate Discord, bro. I always time that I'm on Discord is to talk to my other YouTube
Just
friends, and that's
talk
about
to
like
friends.
business and stuff. That's it. I've heard from other guys with like 250,000 subscribers, and I'm like, bro, it is unmanageable. We got racism. It's like, and it's like the person's not even racist, bro. And it's just like this is terrible. Why would you do this?
it's bad.
And it's just bad. I'm like, I kind of want to keep the disconnect. I like my fans. They've supported me. They've made me get stuff that I like. You know, just how a job works. But like, there's got to be a disconnect where it's just like, this is the stage. This is the crowd. You know that middle part? Yeah, I'll keep it there.
Yeah,
The security line is. It's just like this is weird.
It-
Like, what's the stage is in the crowd? We're cooked.
then there's problems. It's
Yeah.
for the safety of both the creator and the fan that
Yeah.
there has to be a sort of disconnect there.
No, it's just weird. It's just
Yeah.
like big eyebrow.
You go, the fact that that chat existed for as long and to the extent that it did, and that Mr. Beast himself participated in those chats and has now tried to cover them up, and multiple other former employees and potentially current employees are now saying that it might go a lot deeper than that. But I haven't even. I don't think we've even seen the full extent of the evidence yet either. Like,
Mr. Minor, bro, that's wild.
Mr. Minor, the Diddy Force
Wow.
going crazy.
Play the clip. Play the clip. I know you know.
The
Play
Diddy
the clip.
Force.
Play the clip.
Oh gosh. Yes. So at this point, this is where it kind of began to snowball,
Implode.
implode.
Oh, okay.
Things started to get really bad for Mr. Beast, as now he's being called a PDF and getting all sorts of allegations thrown at him. And at this point is when the first dog pack video came out, where
So do you have like a thing you're looking off right now? Do you got Google Docs open?
so I have a list on my phone that I made. So really, is the dog pack videos are the ones I felt I had to take notes on because those had the most information in them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I started off with the first dog pack video, and so just for some context, at some point after this video came out, somebody went in and they debunked it, essentially, like basically.
Classic power scaling thing to do.
But
You're
then
wrong.
Dogpack came back and then rebunked it. So I guess
Refuted it.
the validity of it is still kind of like, yeah, like basically what I'm gonna read to you is like, it's a lot of rumors for this first video, or just like conjecture. I guess you'll see as I read on, but
To preview what's gonna happen, I'm probably gonna go.
Oh,
Stay tuned.
you might for this one, but you definitely will for video 2. Video 2 actually is insane. But let's start off. So, one of his first things that he pointed out was how Mr. Beast kind of uses a conditioning technique to get fans to subscribe with the belief that they can benefit from doing so. Just kind of like a weird business tactic. Where it's like,
no, I understand that one. That
Yeah.
one, I think almost every, I would have to say I fall into that category too. It's like, how do you put it? You have to engage your audience to do it, but at one point it is malicious or bad. Because at least with me, the only thing I try to do is I just try to keep them engaged. Because subscriber count don't fucking matter on YouTube. It really doesn't, and it hasn't mattered since like
a long time.
like early 2010 maybe, because something about policy changes or whatever. I'm still trying to wait for if Matt Pat was right and like certain laws went into effect where like how notifications work or emails work.
I think it was
like,
after the adpocalypse.
I think so, timeline wise, but like every YouTuber does it, but like to the extent Mr. Beast does that, it's like, okay, now we're entering kind of like full scale, like you're in a board meeting trying to figure out how do we use all of this data to where you can subscribe. Because at most what I do is I just say, stay with me as I yap, because I know all of your attention spans are cooked. That's why for lore reasons to explain this on the internet for anybody why I'm saying this now is when I say after my intro, walk with me, it's just to be like, okay, I'm following with you. That's why I do it. So just to clarify, if anybody was wondering about that, but like all YouTubers do it, but Mr. Beast to an extent is just like suspicious. Probably gets worse. So,
yeah, so
we got the YouTuber perspective here.
So this is like basically starts off with kind of like blanket statements where it's also like the faking videos and competition for the sake of views, and he'd also like allow people to cheat in challenges, or they'd be given favor in those challenges to win. Specifically, this kind of came out with, I think it was the YouTuber hide and seek challenge video that he did, where Rosanna Pansino was involved. Well, I'll get to that later because that also is a part of this whole ordeal. So there's also the illegal lotteries used to bribe people to subscribe, exaggerating the chances of winning in certain lotteries and promoting gambling to children. And people winning prizes also sometimes just never got those prizes. The rocket to the moon, thing that he did with pictures blew up, and he basically did absolutely nothing to compensate the people who spent money on that. The gambling scams manager, one of his managers advised him against going with a company that had to. That was basically involved in gambling scams. Like, that was their entire ordeal. He got fired for saying, don't do that. And,
hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. You gotta know something about me, bro. As of recently, I've been going down my Cold War cases, so my entire YouTube recommended feed is half history stuff, and YouTube thinks, some stuff about the alt-right and alt-left. I got some. Don't look up Cold War stuff on YouTube. If you want to know history stuff, you go down some fucking pipelines. But with most of like historical cases of this one guy we all thought was cool until a bad thing happened, is one guy says, hey, you know what? I think that's a bad idea. We shouldn't do that. And then they get fired. And that's when it goes all downhill. You would be shocked how many times that has happened within like
I'm
Cold
sure,
War.
yeah.
And some people, the people who end up doing these decisions, like forewarned, just in history in general, they're morons. I always think back to when you said it's always people making bad decisions. No, I full-heartedly disagree with that. I think they're just morons. There are morons making decisions, because it's like, if we're using history for example, it's like we shouldn't fund terrorists. However, and it's like, mother, you have it in the statement, don't fund terrorists. So why? There's no benefit. I can go on and on about it, but it's just dumb people making decisions, and I'm already reading the room. Dumb decisions are being made by people with intellects that don't go above 2.
Yeah,
Anyway,
pretty
continue.
much. So then there's also the Feastables brand. He did like a Willy Wonka chocolate factory thing with a ticket
No,
giveaway
what's wrong with this?
where well we'll get to that as well. But basically like that was just a thing that I thought was weird because like
Mhm.
in at least the original movie, like Willy Wonka's shown to be like an actual not good person. That he basically just sends these kids to their death just
We're
because
talking about
he's
the original
insane.
or the one with Johnny Depp?
The original.
Okay, yeah.
Like he absolutely just does not care about. Ironic, isn't it? Willy Wonka does not care about the safety of the people who go into his factory.
This is gonna be like, I'm saying it, man. Like in 20 years or something, this is gonna be like a historical case. Just like the
It's gotta
actual
be.
rise and fall of Mr. Beast. Like, if there's no joke. Like the tagline "Rise and Fall" actually is appropriate here.
Yeah, it's true. And then so also on the Feastables chocolate, there's a Keith Lee interview where he's like rating the chocolate, giving his takes because he's like a food tester. Like he tastes food and gives his opinions on it. And Mr. Beast in that video can be clearly he's seen clearly getting upset that his chocolate wasn't getting the praise that he wanted. Like he was only giving it like 6 out of 10s, like saying, it's all right.
This shit mid, bruh.
And so apparently they'd been collabing together prior to this video, and Mr. Beast was basically, from what Dogpack was saying, is that it seemed like he was kind of like building up Keith to like have a more positive mindset towards his company. So when he did his review of the chocolate, he was thinking that he would give a biased review since he likes the company. But then when he gave,
Man, I'm seeing red flags everywhere, bro.
but when he gave an
Fuck.
actual review of the chocolate, saying that it wasn't that great, he can be seen in that video. He literally starts throwing the chocolate bars around the house and like flips the table in front of him. Where it's like he tries to play it off as like a joke, but like you can tell he's clearly upset with how it's going.
Are you gonna play some of these clips? Because I think people need context. I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to have some of it on here. But like, and there's another interview too. I don't think I put note of this, but I just remembered it now. Where in the same vein, he has that I think his name's Tommy Innit in a video.
Oh yeah.
Where he's reviewing Mr. Beast Burger, and like Tommy's like super hyper, and when he tries the burger, he's like, this isn't that good.
Ass.
And they just mean to him the whole video, just angry. So it's just it seemed like an effect of like Mr. Beast not used to people not just saying yes all the time to anything he does. Like as soon as somebody goes against what he wants them to say, it's like
We're cooked. We're cooked. boy.
angry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that seems suspicious because even then, you're taking criticism is like the best way to get stronger.
Yeah.
Insert anime joke here. So it's just like it is really just counterproductive.
Yeah, and then so he also promoted the chocolate as a healthier alternative to normal chocolate. But then you check the ingredients and they at some point they got changed and they're basically the exact same as a Hershey's bar, potentially even less healthy than a Hershey's bar.
I don't know how you do that, bro. That's wild.
I don't either. And then I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures because this was a controversy from a while back. I'd have to say it's about a year and a half ago.
I think I heard about it, but it was like for like 2 seconds.
But like the Mr. Beast burgers, how those would turn out sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Like-
I think I heard.
Like actual nasty patties from SpongeBob.
I don't think I can fault him on that because this isn't how it works
Yeah,
with the like ghost restaurants.
Yeah, it's a ghost
and they're-
restaurant thing. But
Yeah.
it's still another one of those things where it's like at the time I was like even like yeah it's not exactly his fault, like he can't control the quality of all that, but it's still like you'd almost feel like that when he created that brand that they would kind of want to quality check some of the places that they went through.
Yeah.
'Cause, like it's like partnering with somebody without knowing, oh yeah, they're constantly getting health code violations. Like you
That's
kind of
fucking-
that as somebody like if you're trying to get into like the food business, you have to know if the place you're going to is safe for eating.
consumers. Yeah, I know. That's really dumb. That's really dumb in hindsight.
Yeah.
I'd
Like,
be so worried about that stuff, bro. I don't think I could actually end up doing it because it'd be like, is it good? Are we fine? What's going on? Etc. Etc. It'd be like, I wouldn't be able to do it, bro. That's just too much.
yeah. But yeah, and also during the Willy Wonka giveaway thing, a popular influencer ended up being one of the people who gets the ticket, and they're like, "Whoa!" They're, in their video, they're like, "Whoa, this was completely by chance," and like literally, they call Mr. Beast, and they're like, "Oh man, isn't that crazy? This was all by chance. This was the craziest luck. It's all by chance." And you can even hear Mr. Beast on the other end being like, "Yeah, this is completely by chance." Like they keep saying, like, "What are the odds? This is by chance." And
To keep on, is it by chance in specific?
I think they do say by chance. I literally put in quotes by chance on here. So
That's suspicious.
that has to
It's
tell
totally
me that there's a lot of by chances being said in that video. So yeah, so basically from what was seen in that, it looks like that one was kind of like set up for them to get that ticket. And then later on, for the video that they did for the chocolate factory, those people ended up being the ones who won the entire challenge. So it's like, I feel like they were purposely put there.
Yeah, that's weird.
That-
That's suspicious 101 right
Like
there, bro.
that was basically as if Willy Wonka dropped off a chocolate bar to Charlie's house and
He
was
said,
like,
"You win."
"Oh my gosh, you get to come to my factory." Like at that point, he already knew who he's gonna pick to be the winner.
Yeah, that's just weird.
Yeah,
I don't
And-
know. How do you? Okay, go. Just go.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about it right now, and I'm just like, dude, you just like every like
it's just like
cautionary story ever.
so. And then this is kind of where it began to like wrap up the video. Is the health issues with obesity kind of ignored with the food giveaways were like is basically kids were being incentivized to buy a ludicrous amount of unhealthy food to win prizes that they were likely not going to get. The Feastables website not complying with no purchase necessary regulations and encouraging kids to go out of their way to not only buy chocolate but to also make sure they're stocked on the shelves. That was like one of the things that they called out was if you don't see our chocolate bars stocked, go to an associate and say stock the chocolates, which
That's
I
so
thought that
fucking
was
weird.
super weird. Like
That's child labor, bro. That's,
that's not only
straight up
child
un-
labor, but it's also like you're harassing these workers.
Yeah, that's
Like
just
how
weird.
many
That's-
children in a day were going up to the Walmart worker and being like, "Where's my Mr. Beast chocolate?" And you're like, we don't have any. It's gone." And they're like, "Could you go in the back and check?" It's like, no, actually, no, because
I'm
I
not.
know it's gone. You're the fifth kid who asked.
That's no, those are weird. That's so fucking scummy, bro. Like
Yeah.
straight up, that's icky. Icky.
That was very like when I heard that was of all the things said in that video, I thought that was actually probably the worst of the whole situation. It's
Yeah,
like
that's-
that it's such a strange call to action thing to make
Right.
children tell people to stock shelves
For you, for free.
for your to benefit your company.
I won't lie. Alex, Meta's opinion.
Mhm.
It is kind of cultish.
Yes,
Because that's just like
and
that's the equivalent of like a pastor saying to a church, this place is selling dirty movies. Go to the place and tell them to stop. It's just like, what the fuck?
it's like
Why?
that's their thing. That's what they do. You don't have to go there. The thing is, you
I
don't have
know.
to go to that store. But it's weird. And I think in the second video, Dogpack or Jake Weddle mentioned that how it's like cultish, like a cultish environment there. So I guess we'll get to that soon. But basically, to summarize like that first Dogpack video, I think basically its purpose was just to like show how scummy and untrustworthy that company and Mr. Beast himself are.
No.
Because
I think it applies in real life and even on internet and YouTube. You don't get famous that big. You can get pretty famous. Look at Mark. But I take it back. What's the difference between them? Is he at 30 million?
I don't remember. Let me check. Let me check how much
Because Mark's at 30 million and Mr. Beast is at 300 million.
He's the highest subscribed person.
Yeah, that's 100 times difference. There is this like there is this mentality. You can get big off of just doing your own thing.
311 million.
Yeah, I think it's almost 100 times difference no matter how you look at it.
10 times.
10 times? Oh,
Yeah, it's 10 times more than Mark's.
Even when doing 100, once we're in the millions, going 10 times a million.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. So that's once you get to a certain point, you got to do some stupid shit. Like I have to compare because there's no way Mark, because I'd say for both of us is like the golden child. Like he's a perfect example of what a YouTuber should be or is. He's probably one of the greater ones. And like, sure, he has his weird crowds. But that's just his fan base in general, Tumblr and stuff. But like, looking at Mark as a person, like, he's fine.
He just does his thing.
Yeah, and like when you look at what Mr. Beast is doing, it's like, okay, we are clearly doing some fucking, how do I put this? I'll just say cultish. Cultish things to get to where you are. Like, I don't know, man. We're entering weird territory, but it's already was weird, but like it's like now we're in the mud.
That's
this
like
is bad.
You're like basically brainwashing children to spend more money on your channel. That's weird.
That
is weird.
It is 100% weird because it's like telling people to go do things for yourself is like, how do I put this? There's words I want to describe here. I'm finally awake and the coffee's kicking in now. My frontal cortex is moving. It's how do I put this? You just have to think in a certain way to do that, and that pathway of thinking, a lot of more knowledgeable people that question things are going to start raising eyebrows because, like, first off, telling kids to do some fucking very, very weird things. Second off, you're clearly doing some things so you don't get into legal trouble, which of course now we have to do the whole legal versus non.
We'll get to that. That's the next point that we'll get to. But
it's just weird. You just have to be weird to get to that level. That's all I'm trying to say. It's just like.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention too that was brought up in the video was during one of the live streams that Mr. Beast did, where it was like a shirt thing where they were signing shirts. There was like a lot of like weird stuff going on with that, whereas like you could tell that they weren't authentic Mr. Beast signatures because some of the guys on the crew were signing it rather than him, which. I mean,
imagine trying to resell it, and then it's just all like,
that's not authentic.
It's not actually Mr. Beast's signature, as we can see on the Wikipedia page.
As you can see, that shirt that was sent to you was signed by one of his other people, not Mr. Beast. So therefore, it's not authentic.
You got cooked.
But then the other thing was that I found, like, this was the part of that stream that I found like actually bad, was like, or like scummy, I guess I should say. Was because like the point of it was they were signing the t-shirts, and then like every other some amount of t-shirts, they'd like do a giveaway with that t-shirt, so like they could win like AirPods or a PS4 or something.
PS4 is wild. How long ago was
It was
this?
a while back. It was definitely before PS5, but like they basically what would happen is as they were giving away this stuff, they like Mr. Beast would be like, "Oh no, how are we ever gonna make profit on this? We're giving away so much, you guys are bleeding us dry." And he kept saying that over and over again, like as if him selling $40 t-shirts to millions of people and giving away prizes was gonna bleed him dry.
No.
But then the thing was with that too was a lot of those people again did not get those prizes. Like he just named people but never actually gave them anything.
That's so weird, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That is so bro, it's like so comically like corpo, bro. Like I'm turning into Johnny Silverhand. But like, I don't know, man. I always hated giveaways, even as a kid. Bro, I was like, how do you get those? Because like, that just seems weird.
Like,
are you weird?
Yeah, it actually in hindsight is very weird because you have to then give your information to a random person on the internet, like your home address to random people.
Yeah.
Unless you have a PO box, but it's like, how do you even know who you're actually giving that information to? Like, you don't really know if it's Mr. Beast that you're giving that to.
It could be fucking Joe Swanson.
Could be Joe Swanson. But yeah, so this basically gets us into the Legal Eagle video that you sent me, where he reviewed the video and showed that by the letter of the law, that in that video, what Mr. Beast did with the lotteries and faking video is not illegal. Like that, completely fine under the law of the United States of America. That he can do that stuff, false advertise. It's fine because what he said. What he said was because YouTube does not fall under, I think, the FCC, since it's not what is it? It's the broadcasting one. Where technically YouTube's not a broadcasting thing; it's its own thing. By the way the law's written, that YouTube is not under the same guidelines as TV or other media forms like radio. So he does get away with that. Specifically because YouTube is not regulated the same way as everything else. But it's still extremely unethical. It is like you can do it legally. Like this is something I learned in my ethics class in college. Was there's a lot of things you can do legally that the law does not prohibit you from doing. But it's a very bad look and extremely unethical to do those things. And I think what he's doing in these videos a lot of the time, extremely unethical. Like,
oh yeah, like you can't. How do I put this? If you were to swap it right and then put it into the FCC, how fucked would he be?
Basically,
like at that point.
Basically, at that point, almost everything that he said in that video is a violation.
That's wild. Everything?
Almost everything. Like there's like weird stuff when it comes to like how like TV competitions do it, because I think with TV competitions they don't have to be legit because they're strictly like entertainment based.
That's so weird.
So like
That's
the
so
faking
weird.
videos thing is not something that he can get in trouble for at all, because
Really?
it's strictly entertainment based.
That's
And I think I can't remember if the lotteries were the thing that he's currently not affected by because it's different YouTube regulations, or if that also falls under the category of being like, it's entertainment. You can do what you want. But it's still extremely unethical, which is a bad
that is
look.
weird. Yeah, I can't. I don't know what goes through. I don't know. Maybe my moral compass is just too high. It's just like you gotta actually just be a goon.
You actually have to be terrible.
You have to be a Batman goon, bro.
Mm.
By the way, if anybody's wondering what screen I'm looking at, I'll just for funny, since I haven't done this yet, I'm currently Caleb in post. Caleb right now. Wait, can you look at my Batman screen?
I saw Batman for like a split second, and now he's gone.
Hold on. I'm multitasking on the podcast today. Hold on. Change windows. Screen one. Hold on. I think it's gonna play my music.
No.
No, it's fine. I turned it off. I'm working on Batman.
It's Batman.
Yeah, I'm doing it for a thumbnail. I'm multitasking. Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
But yeah, so essentially that's kind of where that was stayed for a while. That's where there's a kind of like bubbling around of whether everything said in the video was real, whether it was legal. That like there's a period of time where that kind of just sat and stewed for a bit. So while that's happening, I will go on to where it started getting to the next portion of the controversy.
How many controversies are we down right now? We're like what, 3, 4?
We're 2 in. We're about 2 in. There's the PDF file controversy. Then there's the illegal lotteries, faking videos controversy. And now we're kind of getting into more like person-on-person stuff.
Fred. He's here.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, I didn't think he'd be gone. Anyway, continue. I thought I noticed him. I'm like, is he still here?
But so to get context for what's about to come up, we're gonna have to go back, way back.
Did you think about the edit in your mind? I did. We're about to go back.
We're about to go back. I actually did not.
I thought about that.
I did not think of that. No, but we gotta go back in time. Not as far as we will in a second, but I think it was about 6 months ago, 7.
Oh, this is recent. Okay.
So we got to go back to the Jacksepticeye situation.
I remember that, bro. Jack fucking soul sniped.
He really did.
Like, this guy's an asshole, but like in hindsight, he's so right. Fuck.
I mean, I agreed with him too. So basically, what he says in that, and there's a clip from a video where he's on a lie detector test, where he's asked what he thinks about Mr. Beast, and you can correct me if I don't remember some of this right, but he's asked what he thinks about Mr. Beast, and he says, I don't really like his content. I think it's kind of ruining the platform. Like, that's basically what he said, right?
God, man, he was so real.
Like that he
was so real.
Like he basically, it was the iCarly where Freddie says he didn't like Fred. He's like, I just don't think he's that great. And then Mr. Beast, being Fred, was like, how dare you? How dare you have anything critical to say about my content? How dare you? And it became a whole thing where he like started slamming Jacksepticeye on Twitter. Like, it was bad. Like, people were just dogpiling on Jack for having an opinion.
You know, that shit is extremely questionable, bro.
Yeah. And
that's like, it's so weird in hindsight. Fuck. Retrospective fucking.
Yeah. Like, honestly, this is where I guess I'll go with this, where at some point, Mr. Beast did apologize to him for it escalating to the way it did. But I think that did show, like, a really big part of his character where it's like you cannot say anything negative against him or he will attack you. And I think he was like Jack was like seemingly on the verge of like being blacklisted, it almost felt like. Whereas like you say one thing wrong about him and everyone will just dump on you.
Yeah, it is. It's always every few generations of YouTubers show up, and it's just all like, this is weird. You're being weird. Why are we being weird here, ladies and gentlemen? Like this is some weird behavior. Like I know people like, maybe I have to bring it up for another time. I don't think I ever brought up the Drake situation on here.
No, we slightly did.
When an artist can't take criticism,
Mm-hmm.
I would say this for YouTubers, but people in general. When Kendrick proclaimed to the rap community, "I am going for the throne. If you aren't fighting me, I don't even know really how to say it. If you're not aiming for the throne, you're ass, right?" Mm-hmm. He told it to everybody, and everybody except for Drake was like, "No, this is what we need. We all need to get better and strive for that, for the top spot." And Drake was the only guy who went, but like, why'd he do it, bro? I thought he was my friend. Like, it's like, okay. Now I'm seeing patterns in life right now that by person case. I'm raising eyebrows. I'm going, you're weird.
When somebody challenges you and you get offended by the challenge, it's like, you're
being weird.
That's a strange. You're being strange. I don't know why you're saying these things.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, so I think that's basically what that highlighted. Mr. Beast, like you cannot question him. Like no, and you'll see this a lot with this whole situation. Is big content creators do kind of seem to avoid calling out Mr. Beast. Like they tiptoe around that a lot.
On public record, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I've been saying I've been new.
It just took me a while to realize it. I'm just seeing it now. I'm like, wait a minute, you're actually just a dick.
Me and Colby had like half court shot.
Colby.
We're like I think it was not to derail the video, but it was back in like I want to say 2018, 2019. We were just kind of like sitting there, and I was just like, something about Mr. Beast. I don't trust that. There's something wrong. Those giveaways, something's off about those. Something just feels off about all that content. And Colby and Cliff were like, yeah, you know what? You're right. There is something very wrong there. And we called that. We called that from a mile away.
I do have to say one thing though. While since we're already off rails, there is a weird trend. I don't know, man. Ever since being like, I don't want to say PewDiePie well, I don't know. Maybe he is. I mean, you have to look back at that situation. But the whole like PewDiePie like into alt-right pipeline is a thing.
That was weird. That was super weird.
I was looking into it recently because remember I went into the whole Civil War thing and apparently that was an entire you could apparently history goes down weird spots the more modern you get into it, and it's just like almost like I don't want to say, but like guilty by association. It's just like, yeah, we're in a weird spot here because it's like that's already a weird pipeline, and then next to it with all of this, it's just like, I don't know, man.
It's weird.
Running packs. Anyway, continue.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to derail as much as possible here.
There's like I said, I've been saying to Alex, there's a lot to this situation. But I guess the last point I'll make before continuing with this, we're going back in time thing, was at some point during this period of like stewing on the dog pack video, it's like it was also kind of like rumored, like confirmed, not confirmed kind of thing, that like some of the charities that he did, like Team C's and like the giveaways, were also like fake.
How I don't.
Like the charity's faked. Like it was basically said that like the video where he cured the blind and where he gave the water to the people in Africa, like those videos weren't his doing, that it was already something that was set up in place and he just recorded it and kind of like took credit for that.
You're fucking with me, right?
That's just the rumor. I haven't seen any evidence that proves that that one is true, but that's just one of the things that I heard floating around.
If that is true, bro, that's literally
It's actual just evil.
That's just evil. Like there's
Like
no. Well,
you're
I
actually
wouldn't
just
say evil,
using
but that's just
people.
fucked up.
You're just using people's negative situation for content.
Yeah, that's just corpo bad. Like,
Yeah.
That's,
And I wouldn't even say that's like I feel like that's still worse than corpo bad, because at least the corporation would have like their own doing being the reason why that charity existed. But it just sounded like he took credit for something that was already taking place. But like I said, that's conjecture. There's no evidence really supporting that one. But it's
That's
just
so weird.
But it aligns a lot with some of the stuff that we've already heard and we're going to hear.
That's so unfortunate, bro. If it
Yeah.
actually is true,
But yeah,
because this is like, how I don't get it, bro. Moral compass. Maybe people just don't fucking have it. Because it's like,
No.
dude, how do you go? I'm gonna record this, but none of it is my doing.
like
But
that's bad.
I will maybe give him at least the credit if he like somewhat funded it.
Yeah, if there
But it
was
wasn't his
some
original
funding
idea.
behind it, then it's like, sure. It, like I said in the last video, or in the last episode of the podcast, I find it very disingenuous to make any sort of video about you doing a good thing.
Yeah.
Like that, like if you're gonna do a good thing, you don't advertise that to the world.
Yeah. Or at least you talk about it like years later on like some like not associated with you documentary or something.
Yeah.
Like a history recap, and it's like, yeah, in the background I was like giving away to all these things. But then I'm still confused though, because I'm looking back at the history of it too. What about his hometown? Because apparently in his hometown he gives back to his community. So I'm like,
How true is
dude,
that? How
yeah,
true is
so now
that?
I'm like, I have to look back at all your previous actions and be like, wait a minute. Are you? Could it be the Walmart effect though, where everybody's like, yeah, he came from here, so we just like him by association. But in reality, when you look at any other Walmart, it's like, this
We
is bad.
hate you.
Yeah, it's like this is Walmart. Walmart is not a good place.
No.
Fun fact.
Yeah. I think most people with a brain probably are aware.
Yeah, it's bad.
Continuing on, going a little further back in time, we're going to talk about the Rosanna Pansino situation. So Rosanna Pansino, she's a cooking YouTuber who, like I said earlier, she participated in a Mr. Beast challenge a while back where she basically got cheated out of winning. And when she pointed out that the person who actually won and like the people who got put ahead of her, that happened, she was basically silenced and like nobody believed her story. And I guess I'll kind of share like what happened with that. So basically during their hide and seek, they were told like explicit rules that like places that were off limits for hiding. And one of those places was like hiding in the ceiling. And so the guy who won the competition hid in the ceiling. And I think even in the video, Matt Pat calls it out, but they still let him win.
My goat, Matt.
He's like,
Pat.
he's hiding in the ceiling. It's like, ooh, he cheated.
Andrew's here.
It's Andrew. We're destroying
Is Matt Pat the goat.
The goat, the prodigal son.
the prodigal son.
Oh, I heard Matt Pat got excited.
You gotta-
Thought he returned.
Oh,
No,
well, no.
he's not
The
back.
second coming isn't here. Anyway, Andrew Camo out
we're,
of the
we're
way.
currently dismantling his goat, Mr. Beast, right now.
We'll have to watch it later.
But so basically, with that, she hid inside because she's like short, so she hid inside like a very small space for a while, and like was doing very good in this hide and seek because she was small enough to fit in places that they never think to find her. But then at some point in post production, like I think it was when she saw the video, that they, instead of giving one of the top 3 spots to her, which she actually earned, they gave it to Logan Paul instead. Just for the
just
views.
The name. It's for the views. It's immediately for the views. Holy shit, bro.
It's like just scummy stuff like that, and that's something that they like we've seen before. They did it with the YouTubers and the chocolate factory giveaway.
What time was it around? Do you know the date to that scenario?
Let me see.
Because I know why they probably did that. That was for I have a sneaking suspicion that's for WWE.
I didn't see.
Because if he had my brother would Andrew come back, the lore, the WWE lore. But like, if that's for the case for that, it's just like, okay, Mr. Beast totally did that to get WWE recognition.
So that was about 9 to 10 months ago that happened.
Oh yeah, it was totally. Yeah. That fucking blows cock, bro. Wow.
Because even thinking of it like timeline wise, I don't think a single, aside from maybe Jacksepticeye. I'm gonna check right now. I'm gonna check since we're mid into the going backstage. I'm gonna check exactly the Jacksepticeye thing happened.
Go check.
Let's see.
Eyes are hard to do, Chad. I'm trying to get like Batman's white eyes on her, and it's
So.
not working.
Oh my gosh! So this was a year ago that this happened.
It was a year ago.
So it was a year ago with the Jacksepticeye thing. So this was September 12th, 2023 that they put out the podcast where they talk about what happened with that situation. So I guess essentially until Jack had that interaction with Mr. Beast, that nobody really talked about anything wrong with his content. Like he was flying high this whole time while actually being a terrible person.
That's fucked, bro.
So we can almost mark September 12th, 2023 as like the beginning of the downfall. Because immediately after that is the Rosanna Pansino thing. And then a few months later, bada bing, bada boom, it's all bad.
It's Jover.
It's Jover. So then, getting back to this, after nobody believes her, it's quiet for a while. Up until around the time of the Olympics, she started receiving stories from contestants that were participating in the Mr. Beast games, which was basically like a reality game show partnered with Amazon. And so one of the people who reached out to her about this basically said that the games acted almost exactly like Squid Games, which you kind of expected to begin with, but not in the way that like is humanely good to treat people.
It's Squid Games.
It's Squid Games, but like actual though. So basically contestants were denied access to certain like amenities, like women were denied access to like their pads, and some people were denied access to their medications that they needed.
That's so weird.
And then they didn't get food for long periods of time. Like I think it was like every 12 hours they got fed, and it wasn't like calorically a lot of food.
That's so weird.
And at some point during the competition, some of the contestants who were stronger, like younger males, began realizing that they could gain an upper hand by physically harming some of the other contestants.
Oh my god, it's actually it's just fucking Squid Game.
Like they tackle the women and elderly just to get a one up, and there'd be no repercussions for that.
It's just Squid Games. Like there's literally no There's no other way to say it but Squid Game.
Yeah,
We're in Squid Game characters.
it actually Squid Games. But so
that's so terrible.
at the time when that first story came out and Rosanna Pansino posted her first video, it was like when the Olympics first started. So like the opening ceremony for that. And since then, she's gotten a lot more evidence on that. And we're going to get even more into the Mr. Beast games because that in itself has even more stuff going on aside from that one story. But so basically, in one of her recent videos on the subject, she shared how she finds it strange that big YouTubers aren't talking about any of the situations going on. But like we just said, it's probably out of like not wanting to get blacklisted. Like there seems to be a trend of people like being afraid of challenging Mr. Beast.
That's so weird.
But also, in recent weeks, like since she said this, Ludwig came out and claimed he's cutting all ties with Mr. Beast until a response is made regarding all the allegations. So that's at least one, like at least a few big YouTubers now are starting to come out and be like, what's going on?
Weird.
What's going on here? None of this seems good, and you're not saying anything about it.
Yeah, even now it's like he's blowing it over. I remember somebody's like, he uploaded a video and nothing's changed.
He
I'm
did.
Like,
He
yeah.
He uploaded a video, and basically, I don't think okay, yeah, we are getting into this. So this is now we enter the Mr. Beast games situation. So in that most recent video that he uploaded, I think it's locked in a safe or something. I don't remember, Chernobyl. But basically it has the most dislikes of any Mr. Beast video. And the comments, if anybody says anything regarding any of the controversies, they are immediately deleted. And that's kind of a thing that's been going on like around the internet, where certain videos like on TikTok that are talking about the situation get taken down, and anyone who's commenting on anything Mr. Beast gets deleted and blocked.
Bro, it's just textbook fucking villainy at this point, bro.
Yeah,
Really?
pretty much. It's like you're just ignoring any criticism at this point.
It would be easier to just make a video.
Like you make a 5-minute video that says, "Hey, we know there's a lot going on. We're gonna go in depth and cover all of this." But the fact that they're not, and I think I mentioned this later on, the fact that they're not talking about any of this means that the majority of it has to be true, and their legal teams are basically saying, you cannot speak a single word on this, or else it is detrimental to your company.
You know what? But I think in a legal aspect, they're totally right, because eventually what ends up happening is there could, of course, I always talk about these scenarios, like massive court case potentially, but it's just like, this is 300 million people. Do you know how many that's that's over what? I think it's like 1.5% of the human population, which
that's
insane. Insert Doctor Who meme. Depends on the context. If 4 is a lot. Like $4? Not really. $4. It's kind of like that, where it's just like that's a massive amount of people. If that got into a court scenario, they'd have to put YouTube in specific, probably if you're monetized, in the FCC.
Yeah.
Or something like that, which would have massive ramifications. It wouldn't fuck over Mr. Beast, but it could fuck over
a lot
of
people.
You might have to make specific guidelines for YouTube in general, bro. It would be so controversial. It would be insane.
And
so like,
I almost feel like that's where they're heading with this whole thing.
Oh yeah,
because like it feels like since the adpocalypse, YouTube's been slowly like creeping towards having to follow those guidelines to the T, to the point where they'll probably have to be added onto that law, because so much stuff like this has been happening over the years, especially with the adpocalypse, how it was like almost killed the platform because people were just doing terrible things.
It wasn't even they were doing terrible things. It was just terrible to begin
It
with.
was just
Like,
it was just terrible.
It was the Wild West. I was there
Yeah.
for maybe like a month, maybe. I think timeline wise, I think I was around there. I think I don't exactly know.
I do think though there is some like overcorrecting that they're doing. Like
Yeah.
you basically like any gun enthusiast can't make like gun videos. Those will get demonetized like immediately. Which
Yeah.
I don't think that's okay. Like I feel like an enthusiast should be able to talk about something in their collection
Yeah.
like without having to deal with bullcrap. But that's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, it is like certain subjects, while on the surface might seem like bad. It's just like, is it really though? We just got some hyper nerd talking about like a cylinder or a bump stock,
Mhm.
or they're just like really nerding about like, what about swords? At that point, it's just like, okay, come on here. There's like, there's too many layers to it. So it's like,
Yeah.
if we're getting one area, the other area should be hit, but it's
Mhm.
clearly not. So
Yeah,
it's just like it's all
weird.
fucked.
But yeah, going back to the Mr. Beast games thing though, it got so big that major news sources then had to step in and start covering the situation because it started looking very bad. And the main one that I've been hearing about is the New York Times article "Willing to Die for Mr. Beast and $5 million." And I don't know if you want me to read some of the article, but I do have key points from
No,
a video
read it.
covering. Should I
I already
pull up the article?
Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. We're gonna be here for a while. I already knew this podcast was not gonna be an hour. Might as well. That's why I opened up. That's why I opened up fucking Photoshop to do something. Because I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. I'm not gonna be able to do anything today because this podcast is gonna be forever. Because I knew the situation was going to be long.
Yeah, willing to
What-
die for Mr. Beast and $5 million from the New York Times article. So, that's a lot to read.
Just
Yeah,
what do you remember? You gonna read it or no?
we'll read. We'll skim through. So basically, it starts off telling about what Mr. Beast is, kind of stuff that he does. In March, I'll just keep calling him Mr. Beast because that's what he
makes it easier.
defaults to in my head. And Amazon announced Beast Games, a reality competition show in the mold of Mr. Beast's popular videos. Thousands of people jumped at the chance, posting on Reddit threads about the application process and waiting hopefully to be accepted. The prize, $5 million. Familiar with Mr. Beast content and with the lengths to which those who appear in videos must go into order to win, many expected outlandish and even potentially risky challenges. During an intake process this year, several contestants told the New York Times that they had been asked whether they would be willing to be buried alive or travel to outer space. One contestant recalled being asked if she would be able to swim to shore if thrown overboard from a boat. Quote, "I understand that such activities may cause me death, illness, or serious bodily injury, including but not limited to exhaustion, dehydration, overexertion, burns, and heat stroke," read a line in the contract reviewed by the Times that applicants were required to sign. And then in connotations, such language is commonplace in reality television contracts. What they did not expect, however, were the more mundane yet potentially dangerous inconveniences that they said had befallen them during the competition. Speaking with the New York Times on the condition of anonymity due to non-disclosure agreements, over a dozen people who participated in the first installment of Beast Games said that they had not received adequate food or medical care and that some competitors had suffered injuries from the physical challenges. Also, in asterisks, The event was being filmed for Mr. Beast YouTube channel to select contestants to participate in the Amazon MGM show later this summer. So there is a pre-show to the Mr. Beast games
What the fuck?
that this stuff was occurring at. So this isn't even the current controversy. This stuff has been happening.
That's okay, bro. We're cooked. We're actually just cooked.
Some contestants left the competition arena on stretchers. A contestant said, though it was unclear if any of those contestants had faced serious medical conditions. Another described watching fellow contestants vomiting and appearing to pass out. There were several hospitalizations. In a text message, a spokesperson for Mr. Beast said the shoot was, quote, unfortunately complicated by the CrowdStrike incident, extreme weather, and other unexpected logistical and communication issues. The spokesperson said that Mr. Beast had started a formal review and had, quote, taken steps to ensure we learn from the experience.
That just sounds weird, bro.
Representatives from Amazon MGM Studios declined to comment.
When you got motherfuckers declining comments, bro.
There's something wrong.
Does this okay? What I want to know is this. My hair's all being stupid. With regular Survivor shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this common? Because if this is a standard business practice and some people just aren't capable of doing it, then I might be able to see it pass because maybe you're like too big for your britches kind of thing. But like, if this is just for Mr. Beast, we have a problem.
This was just for contestants to get into the Beast games for the Amazon show. So this was the pre-show for the actual show, and this stuff was already happening.
Yeah, that's sus. That's
Like
real.
that's immediate question marks already. So Mr. Beast's content has always relied on the willingness of others, often strangers, to go to extremes to create highly watchable videos. During his meteoric rise to mega virility, some former employees have spoken out about safety concerns on Mr. Beast sets, but his vast fan base has continued to see him as fundamentally charitable and well-meaning, which I think he gets into, like, the dog pack video, the part 2, gets into this of how, like, basically those charities are basically set up to make it be like, oh, Mr. Beast is really good. He can't possibly do anything wrong. And so he can, basically his fans are set up to believe that since he did good things, that these bad things that he did can be excused. Which I've been seeing a lot of that. A lot of that, especially scrolling through TikTok on any video of the situation. There's gonna be a billion comments that say,
but he helped so many people.
He helped so many people. What have you done to help anyone? It's like, I might not have done anything to really help anyone, but I've also not denied people of basic human rights.
Yeah, I don't. Game shows. We're entering Black Mirror territory, brother.
The game shows it's a little strange. But continuing on with that. Now amid allegations about Beast Games as well as recent accusations about inappropriate language used by Ava Tyson, talked about this. That they're saying everything's basically on the line now. And in quotes, we signed up for the show, but we didn't sign up for not being fed or watered or treated like human beings, one contestant told The Times. So this is all just the pre-show. Now the Mr. Beast games, now this is where they're covering that. So Mr. Beast and executives at Amazon MGM Studios had ambitions for Beast games, typical of Mr. Beast's penchant for superlatives. In a news release this year, the studio said the show's $5 million prize would be the biggest prize in streaming and television history. So wait, now this enters new territory because now this isn't under YouTube, which isn't under the FCC. This is now under those guidelines now.
We're cooked, bro. We're actually cooked.
Yikes. We're entering yikes territory.
We're in yikers.
Quote, we were blown away by his ambition to make Beast Games the biggest reality competition series ever. Vernon Sanders, head of television at Amazon MGM Studios, said of Mr. Beast, who is the host and executive producer of the show. Shooting for the competition started in July with 2,000 contestants gathered in Nevada at Allegiant Stadium, home of the Raiders, which is already torture, I'm sure. Competitors ate, slept, and lived inside the stadium while competing in challenges like moving heavy objects and an extreme game of capture the flag. Some stayed up to 3 nights. Before they arrived at the stadium on July 18th, the contestants had to turn in their phones and belongings, including medications. The group ranged in age from members of Gen Z to a competitor who said he was 82. Right from the start, things seemed off. Some contestants said they originally had been told the competition would have 1,000 participants, but upon arrival, contestants received a video message from Mr. Beast, reviewed by the Times, informing them that the number of contestants was higher. Obviously, there's 2,000 contestants, Mr. Beast said in the video. I don't remember if I said that publicly or not, but there is. A spokesperson for Mr. Beast said the intention had always been to have 2,000 competitors during that phase to winnow down to 1,000 for the Amazon MGM show.
So weird. That's really weird.
That's very strange. Like many of the people who appear in Mr. Beast's YouTube videos, some of the contestants said they needed cash to pay for things like student loans and medical debt after learning they would be competing against twice as many people. Some said they felt that they had been misled about their odds of winning, which another thing that gets covered in the second video.
You know what that's the equivalent to? That's like the equivalent of the U.S. government saying, all right, there's X amount of tickets possible for the lottery.
Mhm.
And then you do it, and then like a month later, we lied. It's actually this
We
amount. You
doubled
actually
it.
Yeah, so you didn't have any chances of winning. You would actually have to do more work to do it. That's what's basically happening here for nobody. If anybody didn't realize.
Yeah.
That's so scummy, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'll cover this later, but I want to talk about it now. But in that dog pack video too, with the interview with Jake Weddle, the part where they say that they need cash to pay for things like student loans and medical debt, that's almost always scripted. Like they make you say that stuff for the camera. And a lot of people who critique these like giveaway videos say that is always the case. Is they will find a person on the street, or not even a person, they hire like an actor to play as like a homeless person, and then they'll give them the money, and then they'll be like, wow, thanks, I really needed this. My dad passed away earlier this year, and I just really needed this money to help support the family. It's always something like that. That it's 100% fake every time.
We're cooked.
Like those giveaway videos are not real, ever.
We're cooked. We are so fucking cooked, bro.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Anyway, continue, bro. I'm stunned. What the fuck? There's none of it. I knew none of it was real, but to the point where it's all like, all right, if you want this money, you have to lie.
Have to say I'm in debt in college, and this money will help me pay off my debt.
I have to get it for the views.
You have to make the audience feel sorry for you. You have to pick up their emotions. Again, another thing.
You can't make them cry. I will kill you.
Another thing that Jake Weddle points out in that interview is that that's commonplace. It's like basically Mr. Beast will like fake care about the situation, like fake cry during these things when it's all bullcrap.
That's so fucked up, dude.
Like
What
just
the fuck?
scummy all around.
So weird, bro.
So I guess kind of skipping ahead a little bit. Several contestants also said they had not been warned about how little they would be given to eat and how infrequently. They described going long stretches without being fed over the production. One said she had gone over 20 hours, both during the games and while they were in Las Vegas before and after filming. Contestants said they had expected the production to provide them with meals for the duration of their time in Nevada. One meal described by several contestants included a tiny portion of cold oatmeal, one hard-boiled egg, and a few pieces of raw vegetables. I think prisoners are fed better than that.
I was just about to say they're being fed prisoner food. That is literally. You knew a guy who went to prison. Were they being fed that?
Like I said, I think they might have had calorically better meals than that.
I don't, brother. This is just looking bad. I can't. Like, it's just comically. I know I'm doing a Batman thumbnail right now. I'm trying to make one, or at least like do little edits so eventually I can make one. But like what is being described right now is like a D tier Batman villain who's holding people. I swear to God, this was a fucking Batman the Animated Series villain at one point doing a show,
A game show.
and they were in these conditions. I am about halfway prepared for Batman to show up and be like, Mr. Beast, stop what you're doing. These people have lives.
It's over, Beast.
It's over. It's like, not today,
No,
Batman. I'm
yeah.
gonna get my internet views.
Not today, because today's challenge. He's just the Riddler.
I would say he's like half Riddler, half like
Today's
Joker.
challenge. Let's see if what contestant can beat Batman first for $1 million.
And whoever doesn't will die.
Whoever doesn't kill Batman gets sent to the gulag.
And I won't lie, you will die. And then it's like a fucking transitions to a video game cutscene. And you're all,
It's just Arkham.
it's just Arkham, bro. Fucking start putting the Batman.
Oh
Batman
my!
clips.
It's actually no. But we just created an Arkham battle
It's just a side quest.
out of Mr. Beast. Oh my god! And what's funny is like we're saying it as a joke, but it's like not far from reality.
No, there probably is. I would maybe in post if I'm this far into Batman editing, I can provide like a panel because I can guarantee you this was like a 70s or 60s villain, bro. Like I don't know, man. I think game shows have just been scummy for a very long time.
Yeah.
People always known it. Like it's even in like just writing in general.
Oh yeah, like they like in the
whack.
fine print you read. Oh, this is bad. They're basically just using you, abusing you for content.
Yeah, poor guys, bro. I feel bad for them.
Yeah, a spokesperson for Mr. Beast said contestants had been offered 3 meals a day, which I clearly, by most accounts, they might not have got that memo that they were
Yeah.
given the 3 meals a day.
Yeah, I don't think they were fed.
And apparently, like, it started becoming like cafeteria bullies too. I don't think they mentioned this in this article, but like some people would start like hoarding food for themselves to get extra calories.
It really just is Squid Game. Where is Batman?
It actually is.
This is just Squid Game. Give me Batman.
So here's a part I think you might enjoy. On a few occasions, the production staff passed around small Feastables chocolate bars, and some people were filmed eating and praising the candy, contestants said. That's one of the things they were fed, was the chocolate. And on camera, they're like, man, this is the best chocolate.
How long have we been recording? We've been doing this for like
It's about an hour and a half now.
And we still have more, right?
There's still more. There's still a whole dog pack video.
I am saying this right now. I know I might look like I'm distracted doing Batman, but every time hold on. I'm just gonna fucking hold on. Let me pause my screen. As I'm doing this little Batman edit, right? I don't know if Caleb's gonna be able to show this. As I'm looking at Batman, right? As I'm making his eyes, because his eyes were not properly done in this little panel. I'm just looking at him, right? And I'm just going like, what this looks like he's from the 70s right here. But I'm just all like, I'm just looking at this. This is how I think Batman would look at Mr. Beast. Like, you are a terrible person. This is just a Batman villain, bro. This is just a 70s Batman villain we're dealing with here. And it's just like, why?
It's satirically bad, like the situation.
It's just an Arkham side quest, bro. Like this is just what are we doing here? Like Superman would I publicly question the fuck out of this. Oh no, he'd be like, this is terrible. We should never do this. And then Batman would be like, he'd be like, I'm here to stop you, Mr. Beast. Like this is
here to stop you.
This is just. You're filming to get money. You're telling these people to lie. You're not feeding them. The conditions you laid out in the contract are far worse than it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're all of this for exploiting for views, and it's just like, while it all might be legal, quotation marks, if
Quotations,
an audio,
potentially.
Yeah, and it's just like if you're an audio listener, but it's just so like. You are just half Riddler and the portion of Joker that just likes to do bits. Like this we are cooked. Like this is there's no really way you look at this and then go, but he's still a nice guy. I don't know how many donations you have to do to fix
there's
this.
so much human rights violations already that have human rights violations, just scummy dealings with people who should be someone they're on friendly terms with, just all around, just bad things happening. There's not enough charity to do that makes up for you consistently being a terrible person.
Well, I know what fixes it. Stop doing it.
Just don't. If this was all stuff he did in the past, and then he started doing charity stuff, then there's the argument that it's you can't look at what the bad things he did when he's doing good things now, where it's even then it's you kind of can, because it's you should be held accountable for the bad things that you've done, but you should be forgiven for bad things, but you also have to be held accountable when you do bad things. And right now people are basically saying he doesn't need to be held accountable for the bad things because he cured the blind people and he gave water to people, allegedly.
You know, now that I think about it too, it's the way this is being described, it's did he actually do that for them, or was it just for later because we fucked up? Wait, how long was this being recorded ago? What's the timeline on this? Because now that I'm saying it, was it all big brain to be let's do all this charity work because these people are gonna fucking bitch?
You know what? I think.
Hold on, I might be actually Batman. Hold on.
Hold on.
Detective right now. Put the Batman logo on me right now. I'm Batman. Cause that's just scummy, bro. Actually, I think I actually finally have this down. I think I just needed to make Batman.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute.
I'm Batman. I'm literally Batman.
Wait a minute, Mr. Beast. 9 months ago, I built 100 wells in Africa. Mr. Beast, blind. 1,000 blind people see for the first time 1 year ago.
No, it's
Oh
scummy.
no.
This is totally fucking orchestrated. There's no fucking shot.
There's
you did
no
all that.
I'm starting to see it now. You're absolutely right. That
Oh
it's
my God, I'm big brain. I'm actually Batman.
right before all of this, even before, or probably around the same time then as the Jacksepticeye thing, that he starts doing these good charitable things. And then it comes out a year later that he's doing a lot of scummy things. But now people have but look he cured 1,000 blind people and he cleaned up the ocean and he built wells in Africa. Quote.
Quotation marks.
Asterisk.
Yeah. Acric. No, we're cooked. He's I know, I always do have to clarify the romanticization of some things where it's is it actually that bad and could it be worse? But maybe we can even bigger brain it and just be was it all on purpose just for even more views? Because even though you're getting dislikes, it could be even for more views.
It
for more
could.
traction. So is it super massive big brain? Potentially. But it also could be potentially, we're gonna do I would love to be a fly in that goddamn board meeting because I can guarantee you for a fact somebody said this is big. We're
Mhm.
gonna have problems. How do we remedy that?
Charity
We
work.
got charity work, so they defend me.
Like
It's fucking genius. I won't lie.
actual kingpin planning
Oh my
right
god,
there.
he's actually no, he's perfect. He's the
It's
Riddler and
actual
Kingpin.
kingpin.
Holy shit! Bring in Spider-Man and Batman. We're going crazy right now, bro.
Yes, Spider-Man. As you can
This
see,
is-
I did charity work where I helped 1,000 orphans in my video.
Caleb and Post, put the panel of Frisk and Batman, or not Batman, Frisk and Spider-Man together. It's like Spider-Man voted me for mayor, and then Spider-Man's like, "This is Photoshop."
Game of Post, slap that on screen.
It's literally just that. That's all we're doing right now.
That's
Anyway.
actually crazy.
That's so fucking weird.
All right, back to the
Before you
article.
go- Yes, go.
People with food allergies and dietary restrictions said they had experienced even more trouble. Before the competition, contestants filled out forms detailing their dietary needs. An FAQ document provided to contestants in advance of the event and reviewed by the Times said that all dietary and food restrictions would be, quote, taken into consideration.
Consideration is not the word that should be used there.
Taken
It should
into
be met for.
consideration means that they will think about it, but if it's too much work, chances are they might not actually do that. Several contestants said that they had been served food that they were allergic to and alternatives had not been provided. Which, that's even more crazy when you take into account that they were also denied certain amenities, which an EpiPen might also be one of those things they could have been denied because they were denied medication. That's one of the things that they were denied.
Wait, hold on. That just registered. Say that again?
They were denied medication. Like, daily
Throw the whole thing away.
medication.
Delete the channel, bro. Delete every single one of your channels.
That's one of the things that was said in that initial Rosanna Pansino video was that they were denied medication.
We are an F and D tier Batman villain right now, bro. We are Kangaroo Man levels.
Kangaroo Man.
I have to put Batman in the thumbnail, bro. I have to
Batman and
Photoshop me
Mr.
just
Beast.
Just like Batman, it's over.
Have this just the most crowded thumbnail. Have us and have Batman, have Mr. Beast.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, the Kingpin.
This is so. Anyway, continue. It's just bad. I'm
It's
straight up saying
extremely bad.
we're cooked, bro.
Like, you can't get worse than this, and somehow it does.
Where are we going now, Mr. Caleb?
So, we'll get to. I'll read just a little bit more, but essentially, it's like I've been saying, it's all bad. Mr. Beast presided over a field as the first scenes of the competition were filmed in the stadium. Contestants described how he stepped out of a shrine-like structure onto a platform above $5 million in cash as they were instructed to cheer. Quote, we're all just looking up at the sky, screaming at him like he's God, one contestant said. Guards dressed entirely in black, complete with face coverings, flanked the field. No way!
I have the.
Alex actually has to step back. Oh my gosh.
This isn't a joke anymore. I'm literally saying Batman villain. This
It's
is.
actually not even funny anymore.
If they had callers, it's just the Riddler.
It's
Batman, you only have 5 minutes to save their life.
Batman, can you make it through 100 nights locked in Chernobyl? And if you don't, for every night that you stay, that's one contestant saved. Can you do it?
He probably could. The man would be. He's too fucking smart. But like, genuinely, Riddler. We're just Riddler Kingpin right now, dude.
No, like,
being serious.
that last paragraph is just the cherry on top of our bit that it's just a Batman villain, because that's actually just Batman villain activities right there. Having goons surrounded all dressed the same. Stepping out on a podium and forcing the contestants to cheer for you while standing over a pile of $5 million is just comically villainous.
Yeah, we're cooked.
Oh my gosh. During the opening speeches, one contestant recalled Mr. Beast encouraged the participants to speak up and ask for help from the staff if they needed it. I'm burping. A psychologist also introduced himself to the competitors at the outset, explaining that health and safety were priorities on set. Several participants recalled, reached by phone by the Times after the games, that psychologist, Barry Goldstein, declined to comment on the event. What do you mean he declined to comment? What's there for him as the psychologist of the event to decline to speak about? There should be absolutely nothing that he shouldn't feel comfortable, aside from, actual, patient to doctor details. There shouldn't be anything that he can't say regarding whether or not they provided these services.
That's so weird, bro. How? Wait, hold on. Did he actually even provide any services?
I think we're about to get to that. Several contestants said that when they had sought out production staff members for assistance with medical care, food, and hygiene issues, the staff members were often not helpful and appeared disorganized. Some staff members yelled and cursed at contestants, one participant said. Despite reassurance that contestants' medications would be distributed to them when needed, several contestants said they had not received their medication on time, including one contestant who needed insulin, instead receiving it hours or even days after their scheduled dosing times. One contestant said she had initially been denied food she required to take her medication and had been told by staff members that she didn't actually need to eat. After asking repeatedly, she was given half a banana.
Well, she was given half a banana. No.
We fed her.
Nothing. You know what? You know what? Don't get me wrong. Not me hating on fruits, but most
half a banana is not sustainable.
Not even a full banana.
No, that's you add that on to an existing
something
meal.
Else. Yeah,
that's just for the additional nutrients. That's not your full nutrients.
Did you have the banana with some oatmeal? Maybe then I'd be like, maybe 2 bowls of oatmeal you should have had, but half a fucking banana is wild.
And not letting them eat with their medication.
I don't.
What do you mean? Continuing, contestants were instructed to supply the production staff with a Ziploc bag containing 5 days worth of undergarments, which would be distributed to contestants once the games were underway. But several contestants said that they had waited hours or even days to receive their clean underwear.
We're in Auschwitz. We're just in Auschwitz now. I'm not joking. These are creeping into Auschwitz level scandals, bro. So, you're not feeding them. You're using them you're exploiting them for something. You're not giving them medication. Nobody can talk about this. The corporations, the doctors, Mr. Beast, the people working with it.
No one's addressed anything.
We're in Auschwitz.
It's
anyway.
So I'll read just a few more paragraphs because this is a long article, and I already provided the name of the article and links if you want to read the full thing. But I'll read these last 4 paragraphs. One woman said that she and a group of other contestants who were menstruating during the event had asked the production staff about getting their underwear more quickly. She had been told that it was, quote, not a medical emergency, and she recalled that a nearby member of production staff had laughed at the women's pleading. Contestants felt that the staff was overwhelmed by the volume of competitors. In addition to these behind the scenes issues, things did not appear to run much more smoothly when it came to the competition itself, and that's where I'll end it off. But yeah, just that's wild. That is wild to laugh at women for needing products for.
If there's a list right now, sexism.
Yeah, and
put it on the list.
I think we're getting to that next in the dog pack video 2, where the interview with Jake Weddle, he does talk about this kind of like that. I was telling you all week, Alex, when I was researching this, there was so much information that like I said, it's not surprising to me that I wasn't able to fully get into every single piece of this story.
We're cooked.
But yeah, so apparently there's also another Mr. Beast former employee named Ty Orr. He made an expose video that basically confirmed a lot of what Dogpack was saying in his videos. But that one had some controversy behind it because he said he was cheated out of money. Basically his story was that Mr. Beast was doing a job testing, I think would be what I'd call it, where he brings in people to test out to see if they'd work for a position where it's being an idea man. And this guy Ty Orr, he was brought in and he gave ideas for a certain video, and then they basically let him go after that, after working a full week at Mr. Beast. Didn't really pay him for that time, and then still took his idea. So he's pretty upset about that. Talked about that the working conditions there just sucked all around. But the controversy with that video specifically was that he asked in a GoFundMe for the money that he did not get from working at Mr. Beast, and that was potentially made off the video that was his idea, which kind of strange to ask for that. I'd say that's a weird thing to ask for from people that aren't Mr. Beast. So he eventually took that down and apologized for that. But that gets us into the Dog Pack video 2. And
it's going. It's not ending.
It doesn't. I told you, Alex. There's a lot. And this Dog Pack video 2 is a lot.
Is Dogpack just Batman? Or me and him just Batman at this point? Because this is there's too many connecting dots here, bro. They knew this was gonna be fucking stupid.
Yeah. It's crazy. But so getting into it, he starts off the video basically saying that Mr. Beast could potentially be sitting on a response to that first video right now. But since there's so much information coming out, that he's kind of he's waiting, which I don't think that's a good idea personally. If there's at some point you do have to release a response talking about some of the an unedited response too. You need to just have something out there that lets people know that you are addressing what's going on.
Issues, yeah. We're cooked.
The more time that passes that he doesn't say anything regarding any of the allegations, the more it seems like it's all true, and he's just trying to save face at this point.
I don't need him to say anything, brother. Just looking at it timeline wise,
the evidence seems to go against him.
Yeah, all these like all these good moral things before something that clearly hits the fucking fan.
Mhm.
That's kind of weird and retro.
And you know, also in retro, most of these disgruntled employees did get let go around that time that those videos were coming out.
If you don't agree with me,
You're against me.
now we're Anakin Skywalker right now, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. So in this video, he basically highlights stories from other employees being shared. A member of production was harassing girls in the 100 Boys versus Girls video. So basically, just setting up they do not value women at all,
That's-
seemingly.
We throw it out, bro. Just delete the channel.
Just-
Go to settings, delete channel. Yes, I know what I'm doing. Delete.
Yep,
Just throw it
gone.
away, bro.
He's
Just throw it away.
at this point, it's tarnished. Like that reputation. But like I said, there's still people who absolutely do not care that he did any of that.
No, as long as they get their little goofy little high and eat their little sandwich while they watch the video, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's terrible. It
It sucks.
Terrible human beings.
but yeah. So basically the big point of this video was the interview that he did with Jake Weddle, who was a longtime member of Mr. Beast, and he was not, from his own words, he was not a favorite of Mr. Beast himself, and usually had opposing views to what the company would be pushing for. So he wasn't like a yes man.
Good job on him. Don't be yes men.
yeah.
People. Have your own opinions.
Think for yourself. But and he says he didn't speak out sooner out of fear of being blacklisted, which, as we saw previous, that YouTubers like Jacksepticeye and Rosetta Pansino spoke out individually and kind of got beat down for doing so. So, like, that's not a wrong way of thinking, given what we've already seen from bigger personalities on the platform.
Yeah, no, we are so like I don't nothing makes up for anything else at this point because it's
No.
just like you oh dude you at the head of what you're doing, your production team's up fucking millions. It's like what, a few thousand. So
Mhm.
you're hearing this stuff. You hear at least the rumor of it, like somebody doing something. So as a boss, you have to go to that. And then there's interviews and articles being read about it. Like I don't you just have to be a bad guy. Like there's no there have been so many examples of major CEOs. Of course, we go back to Nintendo taking a massive pay cut,
Mhm.
not releasing games because they fucking suck. We know CEOs knows what's going on in their companies, and they have to make critical decisions. Mr. Beast is clearly, if all the stuff is right here is proven correctly, not giving a fuck.
No, yeah,
Like,
that's what it seems like at this point.
And you know what? Even if we were to take his origin story as correct, he never got social cues to begin with. Like the man, he didn't go to school. He
Mhm.
was clearly closeted for a long time. I don't know. I don't want to be an asshole and say the relationship with his mother was bad, but like, we are clearly seeing a classical case of
Sociopath.
a sociopath. Yes, a child who never got anything, and this time he wasn't given it, but through sheer skill, he eventually got something. Now he has all of it, and now we're starting to see the sociological, the social. I think I'm making up a word to fucking fit the sentence, but just his way of thinking.
The psychology of what
Thank you.
happened to
Yeah,
somebody
like-
given everything in the world.
Yeah, and it's just like it doesn't matter. Like the social cues aren't there. Like
Yeah.
I should be probably giving these women some pads. I should be giving these people who need medical treatment
Mm.
their meds. I should be giving some of these people just food and water. Like these people are here to help you get views.
Yeah.
So you can do things. So how what kind of backwards ass? It's almost like a small government at this point, bro. Like you're not caring for the people that are. Oh my god, I'm getting pissed. I'm actually just getting angry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
it's bad. Now you know how I've been feeling for the past few years.
Yeah,
Being like,
no, I see it now. I was totally in the Mr. Beast, like, nah, he can't be that bad. He's clearly done some things. Nope, it was wrong.
Ew,
It was
very
all
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah, and we haven't even gotten into the interview. So this is basically just an example of like video faking, where they in a video Jake Weddle's car, they had it get crushed, and he had to act like he had no idea what was happening to his car. Like he had to call his mom and stuff and be like, "Mom, my car's destroyed," and it was just not any of it real. Like he ended up just getting a new car. But so he ended up he says that he ended up like starting to want to leave due to him feeling like he's being underpaid for the amount of work that he was putting in, and that there's a lot of strange pay discrepancies around the company where like senior senior writers were like not getting paid well.
Oh, leave right now. I'm saying this on public record. If the company, I will always bring it up. Google pays me on time within the time bracket they give themselves every month. In between the 21st and the 25th, and it's on a weekend, there's some discrepancy. That's the time they give themselves. Google does some sketchy shit sometimes, but they at least pay me on time the amount I'm supposed to be given, at least what they tell me. There's other things behind it we might not know. So a man that you publicly know and see on a daily basis not giving what you're being owed, problem.
That's a problem.
That's a major problem. Start fucking suing motherfuckers. Right now, look at me in the screen. Sue them.
Sue.
You signed a contract, if you did. Get paid. Telling you. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, so at this point because he's been talking to this other writer that has like a family and stuff, and that guy's not getting paid. He's being paid worse than he is. So he convinces that guy that they should fight for better pay. And when he ends up when he gives the demands of what he wanted, or he'd end up leaving. So he's like, you give me this, you give us this new pay, or I'm out of here. And then they decided, all right, you're out of here. Here's your severance check for both of you. And the other guy really didn't want to leave. He just wanted to be in the meeting to share his discrepancies.
So they fired him without...
Yeah.
Well, that's... Okay,
fired him by association.
That's illegal. That's straight up illegal. You can't do that. That is... You can sue. You can't... How does that... I know... I remember fucking hearing it. Totally different other case. When you're trying to argue for your rights, you can't be fired like that. Because then eventually what ends up happening is with court and legal documents under just specific workers. I don't know if like Republicans have gotten rid of this or anything, but like a company cannot fire you and give you a severance check. There's a whole bunch of other legal things. You can actually sue them into oblivion because they fired you incorrectly. Like you actually have to give like a reasonable reason why the company has to fire you, and being like, hey, I'm putting in time for here. I want to be paid more. If we can't do this, I'm fine. And being fired for that's mind-bogglingly illegal. Like it's, I'd have to find it on my own time, but you cannot do that. That's like the number one rule.
Because I think it was different because Jake Weddle did say they either meet his demands or he's leaving. So for him,
that one's different.
Then it's like, he gave the option and they chose to part ways. But the other guy, from what it sounds like, didn't want to leave. He just wanted to be in on the meeting and say, hey, I do agree that there's some pay issues and I'd like to be paid more. But they got rid of him as well.
Yeah, no, that's...
So that one is illegal. Okay.
That one's... You cannot do that. You can literally not fire a person for asking for better. You cannot. It's on the... I think it's... God, I'd have to look up the labor laws, the United States labor laws, but it's like some of the first rules. You cannot fire a worker for asking for better. You cannot. It's plain. I want to look it up right now. You can continue, but
Okay.
you cannot do that. I'm actually pissed. I'm googling.
But yeah, in this interview, he basically says Mr. Beast will do whatever it takes to be the best YouTuber. That basically it's like nothing's off limits as long as it's legal. Legal quote. That Mr. Beast mentality is to do charity not because it's good, but because it makes him look better and less likely to get backlash or hate. And that we basically said that
I
already.
immediately found it. So this is just a summarized version. Remember, at will employment conditions that allows for you to be terminated at any time for any reason or for no reason at all, so long as not an unlawful one. So basically, what it says here, if you gotta big brain it because laws are like this.
Mm.
It is unlawful to fire somebody for wanting to be paid more.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. But there are more regulations. You can get into the finer print of it, but you cannot. It's actually prohibited. Oh, actually, no. Wait, it gets worse. Wait a minute. Prohibited from employees from retaliating against. Okay, yeah. It is prohibited from employers from retaliating against employees for asking for their pay or hours or other rights. So it's even more.
Oh,
You can't do that. It's illegal.
it's just flat out illegal.
Wow, that's actually insane. That's wow. We literally helped in a case. You can sue Mr. Beast for everything he's worth.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a massive lawsuit coming up. There has to be.
There's no. I'd sue him out of the water, bro. You fired me for just asking for. Nah, I'd be so pissed.
I'm angry. But then they'd use the legal loophole that is like, oh, he was in the meeting that he gave the conditions that they leave or not, and it's like, it'd be something scummy. They'd pull something scummy.
But if depending on the court and the lawyers and stuff, you can definitely argue like, no, my client said he just wanted to be there.
Mm-hmm.
He never set conditions for himself. Neither did who was arguing for it.
So it's Jake Weddle was the one who set the conditions that he'd leave if he didn't get his demands met.
So what would end up happening in court, it should work like this. Weddle would be like, he only set the conditions for himself, my honor, not of him. So it's only for him. He set the conditions for himself. The other one just wanted to be in the room as almost witness. They basically argued for witness territory there. So that's what the legal battle would end up becoming. But like straight up, just looking at fine print, illegal. He straight up just did illegal shit.
And it seems like that's like the theme of this. It's like fine print. Yeah, it's either fine print, he skid the line of legality, or he just actually broke the law and got away with it.
Yeah, hold on. I know this is Google AI, but it's sourcing the literal U.S. The U.S. Website here. Here's the full quote if you want to put it on screen. According to U.S. Department of Labor, the Wage and Hour Division enforces regulations that prohibit employers from retaliating against employees for asking about their pay, hours, or other rights. If anything, this is like a max level, like you fucked up, like you fucked up hard. That this isn't like cutting hours or cutting their pay. You just fire them. This is the top dog. You can't
do that.
I know I keep on repeating the sentence, but like, you're fucked. You are so fucked if you go into court, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like violations of just actual treatment and imprisonment. They're like, there's constitutional rights here and just basic labor laws.
All being violated.
All being violated. This is okay. I know we're gonna do the Geneva Convention later on in this video.
But
continue. If there's a list right now, if Caleb and Post wants to keep track of all the things, we are now constitutional rights being destroyed in the U.S. and labor laws.
Mm-hmm.
We are cooked. We are cooked.
It's already bad, extremely bad.
We are burnt.
So Jake Weddle said he was vocal about feeling like using charity for content was scummy, and the people did not like him for saying that.
What a bunch of assholes.
So like clearly, like we said earlier, they knew what they were doing when it came to that stuff. He appeared in some videos after he got his severance check, to finish out his time with the company. The most infamous one that is basically where most of the human rights violations come in is he appeared in a solitary confinement video that didn't come out because it didn't go well at all. So like he has one on the channel right now that's solitary confinement where they spend 100 days, I think. But that's their second attempt. The Jake Weddle attempt did not make it out.
That's so fucked.
So basically, they tried to make the video seem like it wouldn't be bad and like pitched it as like basically a vacation. And they talked about high pay for each day spent there. So he thought he could do it, and he was happy for the opportunity to finally be the center of a video, since he would get cut from videos for being too high energy. Like, that's already kind of screwed up.
No, fuck.
So essentially this was supposed to be like his swan song for the company. The amenities like the hot tub and shower and ice cream that he was given to make it a better experience, that soon became bad. Like it made his experience there actually worse. So like basically the ice cream machine began to like get mildewy and moldy if he ever shut it off. And when he had it on, it would just be the loudest noise at all times.
You got the McDonald's machine, it broke.
And then the shower, the hot water never worked in the shower. And then soon the hot tub had the water just go bad, so it just began to stink because
Gross.
Unfiltered water, bad.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this last podcast, I think.
And then this is where the human rights violations come in. So apparently they would not turn out the lights when he had to sleep because they claimed it would mess with the cameras. So he had bright lights on at all times, which eventually they changed in the next solitary confinement video. But with no clock or daylight hours, he basically started to lose all sense of time and gained sleeping disorders. People within the company started to feel concern, and one of his friends pointed out that it was actually a war crime to deprive someone of sleep. So, literally violated the Geneva Conventions by not letting this man sleep in this video.
Put it on the list right here for everybody.
Violation of Geneva Conventions. There's
Right there.
labor laws. What was the other one that you said?
Constitutional rights. You cannot. It is cruel and unusual punishment. For not feeding them. You're literally laughing at them. It's either breaking it or you're in the area of it. Among the others, I'm actually even looking into the retaliation part on the U.S. Department of Labor. I think he broke every single one of them.
Oh my
Inquiring about their
gosh!
hours of work or rights, asserting their workers' rights, filing a complaint about their workers' rights, and he hasn't cooperated with the WHD. But if he does, and then they sue them for doing that, or don't provide any information, that would eventually break it. So they're literally just on the surface level of it. They've broken almost every rule.
Yeah.
Like this is
pretty much.
We are so far in the Mr. Beast trenches. It's insane.
It's bad. It's very bad.
Yes.
And so he goes on to say, Mr. Beast during one of his times visiting the set was there when they were giving Jake money. And then he requested that Jake tell the camera how grateful he was to get the money so that now he could pay off his student loans. And
yeah, that. No.
That's where he goes on to say that is just something that they have them do a lot.
The only way you would be able to get around that in court is just like, oh, they legally did it. They're totally fine because we're like, it's all for entertainment. But it's like at one point, I do think the court does get into the moral side of it, and they'll go, yeah, but you're telling them to do that.
You're telling them to say these things that may or may not even be true.
Yeah, it's like yeah, bro. I think anytime everybody brings it up, I'm just gonna have to look at it and be like, "Do you defend Mr. Beast?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "He broke the the Geneva Conventions, the constitutional law of the United States, the labor U.S. Department, sexism. What are the other ones, Caleb? I'll do the
PDF.
list for you now.
PDF
PDF
file.
file, and we're at 5. These are fucking
that's
criminal already.
5 of some of the worst things you could possibly do.
This is wild.
Yeah.
And I don't think the war one might count. I might have to play devil's advocate. Since they're not at war, I don't think that one counts, but you could just flip it into the US Constitution.
Still a form of torture.
Yeah, it is.
That was actually just torture, especially towards somebody who they just gave a severance check to and was finishing out their time with the company.
Yeah, Geneva applied to citizens. Hold on. Keep on going. I'm doing more research.
Okay, so he points out that the fairness of the video should be in question, as most of the videos with the sort of challenge are faked in some sort of way to make it easier for the person doing the challenge. But he had to endure the fullness of the challenge with no breaks. And as a joke, he tried to plug his YouTube channel in the video, and they just erased that from the board that he wrote that on. And then Mr. Beast often on set would make jokes about Jake's dad being in prison straight to his face.
No, that's fucked up.
Yeah, like he's like, I'm fine with jokes about my dad with my friends, but that was my boss making a joke about my dad being in prison and comparing me being in prison to my dad.
Yeah. Also, just to look it back up, it does apply to citizens. So
yeah, violated Geneva Conventions.
Yep. Just straight up says it. I want to American Red Cross. Hold on, let me go to Red Cross. Keep going. But yeah, we're 5 major ones in.
So his mental state began to decline in the solitary confinement video, which became very clear to everyone. And towards the end of it, or this was the end of it, he had to run a marathon as one of the challenges in the confinement. And he felt pressure to do anything they asked, as he wanted the money, and any refusal could potentially lose the company money, which is that's like a tactic that they seem to use in a lot of videos to get people to do the tactics or to do the challenges, is that the challenges costed them money to get set up. And so if they don't do the challenges, they're basically like making everyone else suffer, is basically how they verbalize that to the people who are doing these challenges, which again, scummy, very scummy. Finally decided to end the challenge after the marathon, where basically once he was done, his feet were just like covered in blisters, and they just called in the psych people as soon as that was all over. And he was in psych for a while. And they brought in all his friends, and then Mr. Beast also joined in during the recovery period. But then Jake Weddle says that Mr. Beast felt off the whole time and was basically like a villain sitting in a chair and faked sympathy for what happened to avoid a lawsuit. Like I'm not gonna say this exactly how he says it, but it was basically like, yeah, we wouldn't want you to, and then he just like stopped himself right there. Like, he knew that the next word was going to be, we don't want you to sue.
I can't get up right now. I'm doing a Jack Shepherd guy. I'm not wearing pants.
No pants.
This is no pants fucking podcast. I love doing these. I don't have to wear pants, but like, I want to get up and scream because it's just like, so I might want to do that, bro. If I ever end up doing a book, maybe both of us could just do a book on this and just be like, this is a class study.
Yeah.
Of when you try to go big, there are clear psychological conditions, there are clear violations of human rights to get this big. Mr. Beast is literally the poster boy for, to get big, you have to do some fucked up shit. So
yeah,
every billionaire by association to get that big, yeah, you fucked up. You
had to do something terrible.
Like,
yeah, at some point, you like. Well, what's the phrase that you have to like your empire is built on like corpses or something?
I think it is. I think that's the exact quote. It's like you off the things right now. We're appearing them on the list, or maybe they're just on the screen somewhere, just for funnies. But they're not really for funnies. It's like you violated all of these to get where you are right now, and like, dude, like, there's like no excuse for this at this point, brother. Like you, like. If you were actually his friend, you wouldn't have said that or even like really thought it. You'd just been there like, I think we might have went too far. My bad.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. It's
Or
like,
even as their boss, it's like, yeah, you kind of you went through some bad
overboard.
stuff.
My bad.
I feel bad. Like that should have
Like-
been the first thing, is being like, man, dude, I'm so sorry that this went terribly. But in
I'm like a flash
hindsight,
right now.
I guess hindsight's like just like that. It's like, yeah, probably could have seen that one coming.
It's just straight up just like I want to know this. This is my nail in the coffin for the whole thing. If there is like a gleaming sensor of hope.
Mhm.
Did he give him a basket? Did he give him something?
I
Be like, my bad.
I think we'll get to that, but I don't think you'll like what the solution is.
This is just one giant how angry will Alex get episode, because we're just like at the start it's like, oh, could it have really been that bad?
It is very bad. Yeah, it's very
didn't,
bad.
I didn't think we'd be this far. I didn't think this, bro. I didn't. Anyway, continue.
Yeah.
I'm already pissed.
During
I
the
can't even draw Batman's eyes, bro.
during the
I'm so
entirety of
fucking-
these dog pack videos, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like,
This is,
actual insanity. So
Yeah,
he felt like he was just a guinea pig for the next video to go smoother. Like, all of this was just a test to see how far they could go before a person broke. And then they're like, all right, we pushed it too far. Let's not go that far next time. We'll make it easier next time for the next person. And Jake Weddle's mental health was very bad for a long time after this, and he still hasn't fully recovered for that.
that's so fucked up, bro.
Yeah, but you can tell in the video too, if any of you guys go out and actually watch the dog pack videos, that Jake Weddle, he gets very emotional about this situation.
Yeah, this is so fucking.
It's bad.
I'm so pissed right now, dude. Like, you.
And so we're getting to the end of the dog pack video part 2. And now you're going to have a new thing to be upset about. And that is the document which is called How to Succeed in Mr. Beast Production. And one of the things that was highlighted by multiple people was the clause or section of the document that is titled "No does not mean no," which basically outlines harassing people to get the opportunity to make content.
No, we're legal. That's literally you. Oh my. There are. Oh my, I'm so fucking angry now. Oh my god. No, you can't do that. You literally. There are rules about contracts. They're like really serious rules. You cannot. Oh.
So
fuck, dude.
is basically pushing through no's was a big thing at the company, trying to pressure people to let them get access into things, which
Nope.
a lot of
Nope.
businesses do go through that, where they try to push through no's, but the extent that they specifically ask for people to push through no's is very concerning, where basically what they say in the document is they give the example of if they need to film a video at like a Dollar Tree, and they say, hey, they call the manager and they're like, hey, can we film a video here at your store? And if they say no, they say, oh, but what if it's for Mr. Beast? Or like they try to convince that manager, hey, you said no, but what if we sweeten the deal up? Like, this and this and this. And if that manager still says no, then they call another person from that store and ask them to see if they can get in, to see if they can find like like they literally say this to try to find a person who is a fan of the Mr. Beast channel
That's illegal.
or knows like has like children who like the channel to try to get favor to get access into a Dollar Tree to film a video. And if that doesn't work, they go to another Dollar Tree and try to find new people to
That's just
convince
harassment.
to.
That's harassment
They're
against the
just
business.
actually harassing these businesses to try to get their content made. Like that. That's
Well-
what the no mean
Put it on the list.
no does not mean no. Highlights is harassment, which I think extends also to the challenges where they try to convince these people to do the challenges as much as possible. Like if they're like, hey, we're going to need you to swim across this lake and back for the challenge. And the whole time it's in sub-zero weather. And if they're like, no, I don't think that's safe for my well-being, then they then have to be like, oh, but what if we provided this and this and this to get you to swim across that lake? Like they basically just pushing, like they said, pushing through nose to make sure that they get what they want in the video.
I think that's another thing. I can't remember the specific name, but it's like it falls under specific requirements of psychological torture, where it's all like eventually you say yes because they ask so many different things that eventually you just end up doing it. I think there's some court cases like that. I have to remember them in specific, but it's like this is so illegal. It's not even funny at this point.
Because there's multiple studies too, where scientists bring it. Like I think these are now like you can't do these experiments anymore, especially in like the Cold War era, where they'd bring in people and basically try at their hardest to convince them to torture another human being. Whereas like if somebody gets a wrong answer, that they'd have to like give them a controlled shock.
Yeah.
But like in the experiment, they didn't actually shock the people, but like the contestants believe, or like the participants believe that they were shocking the person when they got a wrong answer. And they found that if an authority figure asked them enough times to do something to another person that they knew would bring them harm, that they would be more likely to do terrible things to another person.
It's the power trip.
Yeah, so that's basically what this is outlining, is they use their power as being like an influential media company, I guess I'll have to call it, because that's basically what they are, using that power to get people to do challenges that may or may not be good for them, but just convincing them through constant pressure to eventually give in and do what they want you to do.
Yeah, this is so beyond scummy. Like we're just in we're just in criminal status.
Oh yeah,
You're just a criminal,
and this
anybody associated.
the video begins to kind of wind down here a little bit, where like certain sites where they'd film, like there's one specific area that they like gave them free access to film at like a lake, and consistently they like leave trash and debris behind. Like they don't do they don't do a good job cleaning up a lot of the time when they
That's
film.
Great. They litter too.
They
depending on the
litter,
state. That's a
which
state violation.
hilarious that the Team C's thing was their idea when they actively are part of the problem. And basically they're just overall unprofessional when it comes to person-to-person stuff outside of videos. And Mr. Beast just shown to not be a good person behind closed doors. And Jake wasn't even this is kind of like the last points that he made, that he wasn't fully aware of the sexual misconduct in the company, that he only really ever heard rumors and didn't really get real evidence to his knowledge.
Mr. Beast is basically on the same, the Mr. Beast Corporation or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is on the same level as Blizzard right now. This is
Oh yeah.
looking at women with looking at women trying to feed their breast pumps levels right now. This is
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot
Yeah.
they did that. But yeah, there's definitely he highlighted possible cover-ups within the company with a known sex offender working in a high-level position for the company. He did, and when you look at what like his crimes were, that he did stuff to children addressed as being ranged from 1 years old to 11 years old.
Close the video, bro. I don't need to hear it anymore. We dog.
But
I can't get up. I got no pants on, dog.
yeah, it's actually, and you know, here's where it gets crazy too.
It gets worse.
Is they potential because the person Delaware who is the sex offender, he wears a mask in the videos, which basically is used as a way to hide his face from people recognizing him on the sex offender registry. And they, at this point, I think he's been fired, and they're trying to expunge any record of him being in the
That's
company.
illegal. They're trying to throw information away.
Uh-huh.
Evidence.
But yeah, and when it comes to any case of sexual misconduct, whether that be with the PDF files or just with other women in the company, that it's many people corroborate that Mr. Beast most likely knew that all of this stuff was happening. Like, it's extremely unlikely that he had no idea.
Oh yeah, like we are so.
And
We are so cooked.
just to kind of get this rolling towards the end, there's been multiple cease and desists on Dogpack now from the Mr. Beast company, which highlight him violating his NDA, which, in my opinion, given what an NDA actually is, basically means that a lot of what he said is true.
Yeah.
That the bad business practices that they're doing are actually happening. That it's not just conjecture, that they're actually doing that, and now they're mad that he leaked their information about what they do behind closed doors.
Yeah, fuck me.
So it's it's extremely interesting. And since the Jake Weddle interview, Mr. Beast has reached out to Jake Weddle saying, here's from, I can't remember if I remember hearing this right, but basically what he says is he had no idea how bad that it mentally harmed Jake doing the 100 days in solitary confinement, and that he feels really bad about the situation and was offering to pay him some amount of money. I can't remember the amount of money that he's going to pay him, because apparently he didn't get paid fully for participating in that video.
Oh,
so he
great. We got more labor violations.
So he was going to pay him. He's like, here, I'll make sure that you get that money that you did not get. And basically Jake Weddle's saying that he's not going to take the money because he feels it would sour the point that he's trying to make.
I take the fucking money at this point.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Do? I'd say I take the money and then I give it away to charity.
You take the money and then double down.
Double down is... Hey, I told you not to be a gambler, goddammit. I moved you on the screen. You're on the screen now.
Double down. How did you move?
Oh, I moved you on my screen.
I don't know how to move. Oh well, it's fine.
No, on Discord,
I know.
All of Discord, I grabbed the.
Oh, you moved entire screens. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially, to my knowledge, the entirety of all the allegations and stuff that has come out regarding the Mr. Beast situation currently.
Yeah, he's cooked. Actually sue him. Because we have literally, and if us two as non-lawyers doing basic Googling have listed out what? Are we at 6 or 5?
I think it was about 6. If you
We
have
are
the
We are 6 crimes deep.
yeah,
We are
not minor crimes either, major crimes.
These are major. These are you cannot do this in big bold letters. You cannot do this. So he's cooked. Like I don't actually think if I ever meet somebody saying, "No, Mr. Beast is fine. He did charity work." He violated the Geneva Conventions. He's violated U.S. labor laws. He's hired pedos.
Yeah,
pedophiles. Like we're cooked. We are beyond cooked.
the fact we're 2.5 hours into recording just all these accusations, and a lot of them are confirmed at this point to be true. It's like, how do you defend that?
I don't think you can.
Like at some point, you're just being delusional. Like, more delusional than the people defending Dr. Disrespect.
No, it's just sue him. Throw away the whole channel, bro.
Throw away it's at this point, there's no way companies can keep partnering with this guy.
I think this is like the if this goes where I think it goes, and maybe if people actually get pissed enough, this is basically the end of Wild West YouTube.
I almost say that this has potential horrible ramifications for the platform itself. Because the fact that because in a sense, the Mr. Beast brand is like highly associated with YouTube and YouTube's guidelines. So, like, in a court case, if it comes out that YouTube's biggest star, the biggest channel on the platform, had all of this horrible human rights violating things happening under their nose, I almost feel like we're looking at an adpocalypse 2, where just people will lose all faith in the platform.
Oh, damn, I have to become an electrician now.
Time to go do tuna fishing for me.
Hey, tuna fishing's good.
I know, it looks cool.
It does. Is tuna fishing dangerous? What's one's more dangerous, tuna fishing or sword fishing?
Sword fishing is extremely dangerous.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to remember on the scale here, but no, this is I'd just be doing YouTube for fun at that point. Which fuck it, I'd be down. Here's some random ass videos that are not JoJo related because I'm not making money on them in general.
It's crazy. Like I don't think we can fully grasp what the ramifications of all of this coming out could possibly mean for not only their company but for the platform of YouTube.
Yeah. Like I have to really clarify here as the bigger YouTuber here. I'm not trying to throw shade, but it's just like once you get to a certain level, you know your actions. When you're talking to people that do art for you or do editing stuff for you, you are making business decisions. And I won't lie, I'll do it on public record. Some of the time, I'm not paid a lot, but I like to not do a video for myself. So sometimes underhanding an editor, you do that consciously or unconsciously. You can't really do that to an artist. Artists are different. They're a completely different beast. They know. But editors, I won't lie. Some of you guys are being undersold for the most part, but in retro, sometimes the YouTube content creating, like the video itself, I kind of treat thumbnails like almost like a side part of it, but it's still pretty crucial. It's sketch. It gets sketch at some points because it's like I won't lie. I think for me personally, I think I do pay my editors well enough. But once they start going into like $15 a minute range, I'm like, oh, hold on, wait a minute, I might have 100K, brother, but just because that number's big doesn't mean I get paid big.
My money, it's not that much.
I give like anywhere from like $9 to $11 a minute, which I think is pretty good because that's like what $300. You're getting paid $300
That's
video.
Yeah, that's very good.
So if you do like 4 videos in a month for a person, that's what Caleb, do the math. It's like at least a couple grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're
Close to
fast
that.
enough with it, like if you can double stack on 2 YouTubers and double that, like you're being paid like at least minimum wage.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty
maybe even
good.
more.
Yeah, and if you end up helping the YouTuber, and once you start getting like a connection with them, at one point you can just get paid more than a regular person. Like you can
Yeah.
get paid like a really good amount. So it's just like it's I don't know, man. YouTube business dealing is fucking sketchy. I can tell you right now to open the veil because fuck it, I can do that. Wait a minute, I can do that. It's sketch. Like
Yeah.
it's most of the time it is sketch, and for me, mostly I like editing. So I rarely did it back in the day because I had to do with work stuff, but now it's just kind of doing it full time as of right now. Just doing it by yourself is probably the most ethical choice you can possibly do, and it's fun. I also have a critique on some YouTubers too. It's just like if you're not doing most of the work on the video itself, not the things outside of it, are you really a YouTuber? Are you really doing this out of the
Are
love
you
of the game?
really actually enjoying what you're doing, or are you just doing it because you want the money?
Yeah, because like it's just like the Mr. Beastification of the platform is true. I
Yeah,
think
Jacksepticeye was
Jack-
100%
was-
right.
Yeah, it is ass. I won't lie. Mr. Beast does have a few good points that can be used in an overall positive effect. Yes,
Yeah,
but for the most part, trying to like burn a person's attention span for like a thing every few seconds, it's ass.
that had terrible consequences, just on
Yeah.
children in general.
In
Like
general.
kids have no attention span anymore, and that basically transformed into what TikTok became, where there's like 5 videos playing at once over
Yeah.
like a podcast just to keep their attention span.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
It really is bad. But yeah, for the most part, I say this right now as a big YouTuber. Who knows? The video might actually end up blowing up just in hindsight. But like, if you're gonna take a clip for me right now, bigger YouTubers know what they're doing. They're either underselling or they're doing perfectly fine as is. Just depends on the content of their character. I can
Yeah.
say right now, in hindsight, now looking at everything because I'm always gathering information, always trying to be better as a better individual. I really am. Mark is probably the golden example of
Oh,
what
yeah.
a YouTuber should be. 100%. Mr. Beast is the fucking complete opposite. With full corpo, has clearly done some sketch ass decisions. It's bad. It is 100% bad. I would argue most YouTubers are probably doing that unconsciously. So I'd recommend if you think it's a low number, it probably is a low number. And if that's a problem for you, just edit the videos by yourself. I can guarantee you right now, audiences in general would rather prefer you work quality over quantity. Even Mr. Beast does that. It's the one thing I take from him: quality over quantity always. I'm working on this 40-minute Batman video. I'm technically need to. I try to give myself a deadline between a week or 2 weeks, but like it's a 40-minute video. It's gonna probably take me another like week and a half to finish. But it's like quality over quantity. Just if and it's not even that you suck at editing, bro. Like Google videos, just tutorials, get better. It's an art form. Craft yourself into being better for that system.
yeah.
So it's just like I don't know, man. This Mr. Beast is completely fucked it up. This is fuck up after fuck up after fuck up into eventually legatory fuck ups where it's just like we're cooked. We are genuinely cooked. But to help the smaller YouTubers out there, if you can afford an editor, do it then. Be honest. Pay them well because if you do good things will happen to you. Because eventually, at one point, they'll be like, "Nah, man, I'm just $9 an hour. I'm fine." And if they want to do that, that's on their conditions. You can work with them then. Or eventually, you end up getting a lot more views because of them. So you ended up paying them more. That's what I do with Curious. Curious has shown me personally that he does. The fucking, he's actually 18 now, so he's an adult. But the guy has done a lot for me, and I pay him what he owes, and he's helping me with stories and stuff. On Discord a while ago, I sent him I've been doing fan fiction, I guess, is basically what it is. And the guy helps me constantly. He helps me do better scripts, be a better trying to convey emotions and feelings into this words in general, so they don't feel hollow. And I appreciate the guy. So eventually you get that out of just having an editor. You go from an editor to a friend who'll tell you what's wrong. So it's just like, do better. Don't be a dick. Don't be Mr. Beast. Pay your people right, and they will do good on you.
And if you can't
mind-boggling.
do that, you do it yourself.
Don't do it.
You just
Exactly.
like honestly, that's really what it comes down to. If you can't pay a person to do something, then you just have to do it yourself until you get to the point where you can pay people to do it. If you never want to do that, that's fine. Just always edit yourself.
And that's fine too. I think Nexpo edits all by himself, and he just does Mr. Right? Hold on. I think Nexpo does all of his videos by himself, and it takes him like months, and then he gets millions of views. Hold on. Let me do something here. Because quality content can just last years. Like they constantly get hold on. I gotta use my YouTube cool skills. This will probably be the end of the video, but like Nexpo. I spelled Nexpo's name wrong. Hold on. Loading the video. Pause. Okay, it's already paused. View stats. Yeah, the guy's getting like 2 million views a month, and he hasn't uploaded in 2 months.
Oh,
And he
dang.
made an hour-long video. So it's like, and I think he also has a Patreon too. Like, dude, don't be Mr. Beast.
No.
Use people like Nexpo, Markiplier for examples, Jacksepticeye for examples. It's like there is ways to making content where you don't need to do what he did. I'm saying that right now. And sometimes you might not be successful. Sometimes you are. Sometimes it actually is genuinely luck and the algorithm.
Oh yeah.
But don't go down that pathway. Just really don't. There's no point. But I think that's my piece.
Yeah.
Be kind.
I think that's about it for the episode then.
Yeah.
Man, what a tale to tell.
Yeah, it's perfect example of good idea to eventually ending up bad.
Like Dr. Grant said, sometimes people do the worst things with the best intentions.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it for this week's episode. Stay tuned. Next week we start the school trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
The fun. Well, it starts fun and then it gets sad.
Yeah.
But again. But you know what? I'm very happy with how those kind of turned out because I haven't finished editing them yet. But still, check those out. They'll be coming up starting next week. But anyway, that's it. Be a good person. That's all I have to say. See you guys next week. Peace out.
Deuces.